Hello there, and welcome to episode 4 of the Listen Gamer podcast. I'm joined today by a special guest along with the regular King Crazy, and my name is Ryan.
And I'm obviously King Crazy, but we're joined by the best trim on Twitch TV.
You're going to continue with that, aren't you?
Yeah,
I'm never
100%.
going to lose that.
Nope. Greatest trim on Twitch.
It's the best trim. What can we say? How are you, dude?
I'm good. How are you guys?
I'm doing fantastic, thank you.
Same old, you know, we keep going. But,
Somebody has to.
somebody has to. So yeah,
So,
we just,
as-
go on.
No,
Go
crack
ahead.
on.
We just wanted to get you in, have a chat about, well, for a start, how you got into streaming and what made you start doing it.
Oh, God. Well, first off, thank you for having me. Second off, obviously I started in December 2020. That was during the whole, I think that was in the middle of the whole COVID crisis, I believe.
Yeah, it was
Yeah, I
the first
think-
lockdown, wasn't it? It was the first.
Yeah.
End of March was the first lockdown.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember now. Yeah, because it was just after my birthday. The 21st of March, I think.
Oh, nice.
Right.
So at least you had a
March.
normal birthday then.
Yeah, sort of. But no, I started with the whole COVID stuff because obviously we couldn't go out, we couldn't do anything. So, and I always wanted a PC, so I just saved up all my savings from, before we all stopped working and everything, because I got laid off just after the whole COVID thing, because obviously every company went into panic mode and
Yeah, and with Brexit going on as well, at the same time as that, people
yeah.
didn't know their ass from their elbow, did they?
yeah. So yeah, I just saved up my savings, waited till just before Christmas, got my PC, and then I kind of started streaming. That I've always wanted to stream because I've always been into video games. I've always been a gamer, but it kind of got for many other people, it kind of got really lonely in a sense during the whole lockdown stuff. Because obviously by December I hadn't seen any of my IRL friends, or we were still playing games on the odd day in the week because obviously they all still worked. So but it kind of got lonely for me by that point, and I started just because I wanted to talk to people.
And it's a good way because you meet loads of people doing streaming.
Oh God, yeah. It's like I sit here now, and I think back to comparing where I started, and it's like all the people I've met, like you and Ryan, and yeah.
So
It worked out for the best.
It did.
Yeah.
Your content is honestly amazing. I'm not saying that because you're here with us. We wouldn't have picked you for the streamer of the week if we didn't think you had great content and you were just not pushed out there as much, and nobody not enough people have eyes on you. This is our aim for doing the streamer of the week. So the fact that you've been streaming for, what is it, a year and 6 months roughly now?
A year and 7/8
months. Yeah. So you've gained just over 1,400 followers, averaging 20 views each stream. How fast do you think you grow? That's incredible growth, by the way, for the first year and 8 months. So how did you find starting in? How did you find how fast the growth came? And did you find certain games accelerated that growth? For example, you've played Dead by Daylight, Raft, Phasmophobia, Black Ops Cold War, Pokemon, and Horizon. So which games did you think did they help your growth, or did they sort of stint it in a way if they were too sort of niche, or they were too played?
Well, to be fair, when I'm just gonna go off on a tangent.
That's fine.
It's what we do here.
That's our thing, dude.
So up until obviously I said I always wanted a PC. I always wanted to play PC games because obviously I was on console and not all the games were on console. Raft is actually where my channel started because I'd always wanted to play Raft. It was just a game that was kind of up my alley in a sense. And Raft it's why I'm currently playing it again, because I always like to go back to it, and obviously the new update came out for it. And it was kind of a special game to me for where my channel started.
Yeah.
But in terms of Raft, that's where the majority of my starting out growth came. And obviously nowadays, like, I'm known for more of my Dead by Daylight content, but I always have kind of a special place for Raft because that's where the majority of my growth started. And when I transitioned over to Dead by Daylight, the growth kind of did not stop.
Yeah. I get that. Because with Raft, there's no, unless you, I think, maybe play online. I've never played Raft. I've watched you play it. I've watched other people play it, and I've seen you in your Discord in the evenings playing it. And I'm not sure if you have multiplayer, but if like random lobbies multiplayer, but if you do, the only way to advertise your game then, or advertise that you're streaming really, or to try and get growth out there, because Twitch, we all know the discoverability on Twitch is kind of pants. And the only way that you're going to be seen is if you put it out there. So the only way to do that in Raft would be to change your name, or like tell people if you're in a lobby, hey, come to my Twitch kind of thing. There's no sort of organic growth from there, whereas Dead by Daylight, I feel, because you're in a lobby with 4 other people, if you're the killer, you don't get to see the name until the end game. But if you're in a lobby in Dead by Daylight, you can see Apocalynx Twitch TV or Apocalynx Twitch or whatever your name is at that time, and then they can immediately go to your Twitch, see your energy, like, because you are quite an energetic streamer, and they can just fall in love with you like we have. Or they can be like, hey, let's stream snipe this guy. And then you still juice them. You spin them on pallets and go, oh, poo! And then you get legendary clips like that. And that kind of stuff happens. And that's, for me personally, that's where I found my most growth. Because you can, like, every 10, 15 minutes, you're in a new game, advertising to more people.
Yeah.
So that's where Dead by Daylight shines for discoverability. So I can understand that your growth just skyrocketed from Dead by Daylight.
Yeah. It's like, obviously that's where I found Ash, and then the way it's always gone is there's always been a certain someone I've either come against or matched with on the same team, and obviously eventually I came across Ash, and then from there, me and him became good friends, and that led me to meeting you and Ryan.
Yeah.
So yeah, but in terms of like discoverability, you are correct. Dead by is amazing for that. But in terms of like, I think I've met more friends through it than viewers.
Yeah, definitely.
100%. You do get the odd toxic person that comes in.
Yeah.
You do get the odd
you
friendly
live for
person.
that, though.
Yeah, it's like I thrive off it. It's fun.
If I'm not mistaken, Lynx has a particular Grandma Bubba that likes to stream sniping from time to time.
Really? Yeah.
Yes. He has become my favorite person. If I ever load into a match and I see a Granny Bubba coming straight towards me, I know exactly who it is. And then suddenly I'm going on a 5-gen chase because he refuses to leave me alone, and I have to use every single pallet in the map to get away from him. But he does, he does eventually get me.
So you've got a standby stalker that seems of it then.
Yeah. It's always that Granny Bubba. Oh my god.
Talking of you meeting Ash, was when I think you raided out the other day, and the clip of the first game you played with Ash come up.
Yes, it did.
Oh my god.
I did notice that. Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever seen the clip, Kev, but he's becoming a library chum in RPD. And like, I mean, he's in the middle of the library on the bottom floor of RPV, and Ash throws a hatchet from the main room through the door and hits him.
Jesus.
Not only through the door, through the banisters as well. Like,
oh my God.
It just goes straight through the middle of the banister.
Honestly, dude, that guy is something else with his hatchets. Like, he's a god with them. He really is.
I love and hate it at the same time.
It's madness. The guy, like, the way he's taught me as well, he's got a knack for teaching people how to play Huntress because he makes it sound so easy. And then when he tells you, like, how to do it, and, like, you might just be, I think we was on the Eyrie of Crows, I think the map is called, the Bird Mommy map.
Yep, Eyrie of Crows.
Yeah. And he told me, right, you need to go just down a little bit. Hold it for the same amount of time because that was perfect, but just, like, lower it ever so slightly. And I did it, and it just clocked him straight on the head. Like, even without seeing my angle and stuff like that, like, he can explain how to play it so well. Like, he is a very good Huntress. And speaking of Ash and you two meeting, the funny thing is how we were all brought together. You're a Demogorgon main.
Mm-hmm.
Ash is a Huntress main. And I actually met Ash, I believe it was through a Demogorgon game. Like, he was playing Demogorgon against me. And that was quite the game too. But it's strange how all these things come together. But speaking of your Twitch still, there was a question that I wanted to ask because you've got a couple of famous followers. Mm-hmm. And I did notice that certain Jessica Blevins did a massive sub bomb on you as well. So do you want to explain, is there anything behind that or?
There was nothing behind it. Like, it was just a very, very random thing. Like, I remember going back and watching the VOD, and she was going through streamers, like looking for interesting streamers to just drop, generosity and bombs on.
Yeah.
And she came across mine, and it's only because I was doing the Scoops with friends. Okay. I was wearing my Scoops Ahoy cosplay.
Was it the trim though?
She 100% seen that trim.
You can't miss it. It takes up 60% of the screen.
Wow, thanks.
The aura of it takes up.
I was going to say, I don't know if that's a compliment, though. You saying you got a fat head.
To be fair, I think his hair is bigger than his head, to be honest.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
Like how long those spikes are. I just don't know how you keep it up in the nicest respect.
Kev can't even keep the things he needs to keep up that long.
Viagra-infused hair gel coming soon.
It's just a little blue pill, isn't it?
Apocalynx.tv, you can get yours, pre-order it now.
Jeez.
But no, going back on it, like, because like it was surreal to me at the moment because I remember it like this moment very, very fondly. We were against a very, very good hag, and I was playing the game as normal, as a streamer does. I glance over to chat every now and then to see if anyone's asked me a question and I saw a little purple tick, and obviously Jessica Blevins. And I was like, this is not freaking real, is it? No, this is not real. What is Jessica Blevins doing in my chat? It was the weirdest, because obviously I knew who she was. Like most people, anyone who knows Ninja knows who she is.
Yeah.
And it was just going back and forth in my mind to the point I completely lost focus in the hag game. And it was just the first question. What is Jessica Blevins doing in my chat?
Yeah. It's a strange one, isn't it?
Yeah, like I never thought I would be one of the streamers to, have someone like that in my chat, especially like Ninja's obviously one of the biggest, if not the biggest, streamers in the world.
Yeah. I don't think he is anymore. People like Shroud and stuff like that has taken over, haven't they? And like Asmongold and stuff. But
he's still a household name.
Yeah,
everyone knows who Ninja is.
Yeah.
It's shit. What can I say about that? Like I how many? I think I was just under a K followers at that point.
Yeah, so it's quite recently then.
I think so. It was last December, I think. Last November or December.
So it was pretty much a year of you streaming, and then you get Jessica Blevins in your chat.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
That's amazing.
I'd have just, I know full well I'd have just melted.
I did melt, and then it was the at first because I was still getting like over the course of the year there was still a lot for me to sort out in terms of my channel, and I know my alerts kept breaking.
Yeah.
And she did a huge dono of £500.
Oh shit.
And she told me to check my donos, so I had to put like just stand still at the game and check because I didn't know what was happening. Like Jessica Blevins is in my chat and she's telling me to check my alerts, and I'm like, oh dear. And then I saw it in there. Like I believe there's still a lot of clips of that. Just I just break in two.
Yeah.
Because I see the dono and I'm like, oh my god.
It just doesn't seem real at that point, does it? Especially with all the people like faking donos or chargebacks, that kind of stuff.
Just waiting for Ashton Kutcher to jump out.
Then it's like she talks to me a bit and then she tells me to win the game. Obviously, we're against a very good hag, and we were getting slaughtered at that point anyway.
Yeah.
But I lead her on a bit of a chase, and and then suddenly another, I think it was 250 sub bomb just drops on me from Jessica, and I'm like, oh my god. And then another 50 from another partner drops on me, and I'm like, oh, and then I just melt. My brain just goes to absolute mush, and there's these hundreds of people just coming in and either throwing primes at me or following, subbing, and it was just a mental moment for me.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know how it's one of the things you'd kind of learn eventually as a streamer, where you kind of like, you see all these people coming in, talking to you, dropping subs and dropping follows, and it's a very humbling moment, I feel, for me, because I don't know, it's a very special moment for me. Because I never thought I would have someone of the stature of Jessica Blevins in my chat. And it's gone that way for a lot of streamers, a lot of bigger streamers like Morph as well, one of the biggest Dead by Daylight creators.
And there's another one, Evo. Is that how you say their name?
I don't know much about Evo. I'm not familiar with that name or how they are as a streamer.
Right, okay.
Whether or not that's just because they're only Twitch based, whereas I know a lot of other streamers via YouTube based.
Right,
like I know Morph from YouTube, which funnily enough, the game I came up against him was Demagogue, and that was fun.
You do play a pretty mean demo, I gotta be fair.
Yeah.
I do love my demo.
He doesn't say that like off this, and he doesn't say that in front of you. Trust me. He said, oh, he's a terrible demo. I could use him so easy.
No, I called him out on stream the other day, and then he actually challenged me, and I thought better.
Yeah, you got shot on, I hear. To say the least.
Did he get shit on?
I would like to go against your demo, though.
Out of everyone who was playing in the lobby at the time I played your demo, I run you the best out of them. It wasn't well.
Was it that, or did he let you?
Probably both.
I would say it's more I let you, just because it was only a play around game, and I didn't want to be too mean.
Oh, trust me. Whenever these guys, like anyone from my community or whatever, challenges me to like a 1v1 or anything, they do not hold back. So I'm like, you know what? They don't hold back, so I'm not going to either. And so that's the easiest thing to do. If nobody holds back, it makes it that much more fun.
I don't know. I definitely think they held back.
Oh, no. Never Ryan. Ryan does not hold back.
No. Just going back to how I used to be. Like holding back. I can't. I like in the words of Anakin Skywalker, but completely the opposite. Don't overestimate my power. I get very lucky sometimes doing stupid shit that should never ever work.
Yeah, I totally get that. I'm the same. It's like me when I stream killer. I'm like, oh, I'm going to be a friendly killer today. I'm not going to kill anyone. And then as soon as one person teabags or points or clicks their flash, you're all going to die. It's just always the same. I just got to kill them. Like the friendly survivor goes out the window. Is what has to be done.
I don't know, Ryan. I would have continued with the you were going, you were holding back, because otherwise, if you weren't holding back, that was incredibly easy.
Oh yeah. I mean, I know full well.
I downed you from a 360 shred.
Oh no, I was messing around at that point.
Oh, okay. At that point, he was apparently messing around.
No, at first it was like the first chase was like, yeah, I'll give it a go to see how good his demo is. But after a couple of chases, it was more like just have a mess around. I wanted to see if you could hit the 360 shred, to be honest.
I hit multiple 360
yeah,
shreds.
I know.
So I've got one more question for you for the moment. It just popped into my little brain cell. So, are you a furry?
No.
I just wanted to clarify, because allegedly chat claims that you have cool hair and tattoos, but they also claim that you're a furry. So I'd like to get a definitive answer.
I am not a furry.
You've
heard it here. You've heard it here, folks. I'm not a furry. I do have cool hair and tattoos, though.
It's our first exclusive. Confirmed.
Breaking news. Apocalynx is not a furry.
See, I can't remember, like, to the point of how that meme actually came across, because that's one of the biggest memes of chat to me.
Yeah.
Like, I just can't remember how that came about.
Maybe, like, the meme in your Discord the other day with, like, that furry fox kind of thing?
Oh, yeah.
Your hair does kind of resemble something like that. It's got, like, the color and how big and sort of fluffy it looks. It just probably looks like a furry, dude.
At a quick glance, I will be honest, I thought it was just a picture of you.
Honestly, so did I. I'm not going to lie, I genuinely did. And then I looked for more than 2 seconds. I was like, wait, I need to Photoshop his face on that.
Listen, just because my hair looks like it does not mean that I'm a furry. Otherwise, how am I ever going to escape it if, like, someone glances at that picture and they're just like, that's Aaron. That's Lynx.
The scariest part about it is Kev's good enough at Photoshop to actually make it look like you completely.
Yeah.
It just depends on the angle of the pictures that I can get. That's the main thing stopping me. But it's all good. So, keeping on the streaming topic, what actually motivates you to stream? And what made you, what did you learn? So, like, as you went along, what works for you and what doesn't?
What keeps me streaming?
Apart from a furry, of course.
I guess what keeps me streaming. Obviously there's been like a year, maybe a year, 2 months.
Yeah.
Where I was just mainly doing it as a hobby. And I don't know. I guess
you must enjoy it though, right?
Oh yeah, of course. I absolutely adore it. It is one of the best things I've ever randomly picked up ever. Like, obviously I said I always wanted to be a streamer.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like it was weird and motivating to me to see moderate success from it.
Yeah.
Like, I know there's a lot of streamers out there who are stuck at 1, 2, 3 viewers. And like, I saw more than that.
Yeah.
And it was nice to have a lot of people come in and just enjoy me or enjoy my content. Or
I think that has to be the biggest motivator. Like, people coming in to your stream, seeing you for you, who you are, your personality, everything just shining on full blast.
Yeah.
and then clicking that follow button and enjoying it and staying. Like that's, to me, that's a huge motivator.
Yeah.
And
It's like
what? Sorry, go ahead.
it's weird to me. Like when I started streaming, like obviously I start where everyone else starts, like a no viewer Andy. Like you just build up from there.
Oh wait, you're supposed to build up from there?
Well, yeah.
I stayed a new viewer Andy.
I think Ryan's gained more followers not streaming than he has streaming.
That wouldn't surprise me, to be honest.
It's like the other day, you know, when we played against that that guy 19 by 19, I think it was
9 by 19.
9 by 19, yeah. Like he followed Ryan as well.
Yeah. Poor guy, you'll never see anything.
No. Apart from Ryan just getting juiced as a nurse. Oh, actually, what is behind that name? As a previous nurse main, why did you change your name to Nurse is Boring, by the way?
Listen, right. There was a time where, when playing Dead by Daylight, you could really respect a nurse.
Mm-hmm.
But these days, that kind of respect, and it's shown in the community as well, that kind of respect is gone. Nobody in general likes to play against a nurse anymore.
There's a few nurses out there, you come up against them and they do just absolutely shit on you, and you look at the perks at the end and they're not running meta perks. But the unfortunate thing now is that is few and far between. You usually got a moderately skilled nurse that runs complete meta, which gives you absolutely no hope, because even a moderately skilled nurse can absolutely destroy you with a full meta build.
Yeah.
And I think that's just where a lot of the respect is gone. Like, it's sort of like you're playing the single-handedly best killer on the game. She ignores all the mechanics of the game, and you still play like an asshole.
Yeah.
She's a fantastic killer. If you play her for a week, like if you practice the blinks for a week on multiple different maps, honestly, the easiest map to practice her on, just to get the timing and everything down, is Midwich. Like Midwich with Nurse is the easiest time going. You could go perkless, add-onless, and you could still win easily. But she's very powerful killer. But how can they nerf her? That's the thing. They, without taking her out of the game or just disabling her, like they did something with the add-ons, didn't they? The distant add-ons. So it appears that she blinks faster the longer she goes.
It's not even an appearance. She actually blinks faster.
She does, yeah.
So the range add-on makes it so you can go X amount further, but the blink still takes the same amount of time. So if you blink over a shorter distance, you blink faster. And they've also confirmed that that's not a bug and it's an intended feature.
Yeah, I did read it.
And it's just
it's crazy.
You're taking a killer that is already disgustingly good and giving them add-ons that just make them 10 times better.
I think
if
it could
you...
be...
Oh, go on.
I think it could be the fact that when there's new people come, they're trying to balance it between new killers or try and nurse out for the first time to more experienced nurse mains, whatever you want to call them. Because if you're a nurse main, you can do things with your eyes closed. Like look at Super Al, for example. He's a fantastic nurse. But then if you go and grab some random person that's never played DVD before, give them nurse, they're going to do bad. But they can do moderately good if you give them good perks and add-ons. If they kind of know how to play the game, like they kick the gens to help aggression, tell them a little bit about 3-gen and that kind of stuff so they can try and gain pressure. Give them moderate meta perks and some decent add-ons. They'll do moderately. Like even being brand new to that killer, in my opinion. But
if you'd ask me my opinion on a nerf to nurse,
yeah,
the only way I could see it working is taking away her second blink and making it an eerie add-on.
You know what? Yeah, that wouldn't be too bad. Because then the other eerie add-on is what? Like you can only blink in a straight line, but you can have 3. Because that would fit perfectly then.
Nurse main screaming right now.
No, it's like, as I play both sides again, and playing nurse, it was easy. Like, you get the odd occasion where you get like survivor friends or some really good solo queuers.
Yeah.
And they can get some fantastic pressure on you. But
one thing I think
it's few
they
and far in
do
between.
need to change with Nurse is her blink attack needs to be an M2 and not an M1.
Yeah.
Same as for Blight. Like, the fact that Blight could rush and hit you and it doesn't proc no ed, but a Nurse could blink and hit you and it would, is just outrageous.
You know what? That's not a bad shout. Same with Devour Hope too. Anything that gives you an exposed status effect, you shouldn't, after a blink, you shouldn't be able to use that exposed status effect, pretty much. That's what you're saying, right? So like, if you got Devour Hope and you blink to hit a survivor, it still counts as like an M2 hit rather than an M1 hit.
Yeah.
So it doesn't insta down.
It's like you couldn't shred as a demo to get Devour Hope down.
Yeah, exactly.
But
so it should be the same thing
blink
for
as a
Nurse.
Nurse and hit them and you get it down. It's just nuts.
Yeah, I've not actually thought about that, but that's actually a good shout.
It's what gives her a lot of her power of like you look at Starstruck in that manner. Starstruck, Haunted Grams, Devour Hope, Noed, like there's so many perks. Even just down to like Sloppy Butcher. Applying Sloppy Butcher to everyone as Nurse and making healing take 10 times longer gives her more pressure. And like she can proc that with an M2 blink.
It's madness. The one thing I do like about Nurse though is when she blinks, it's like she's coming out of the screen and headbutting the screen. It's madness. I love it. It's like 3D glasses on, and Ryan knows about this because that time on was it Ironworks of Misery?
Yes, I was having a miserable time on the Ironworks of Misery.
You was against us
by a little fucking Claudette.
It was fantastic. Like, I think I've clipped it on his stream. We're gonna have to show you after, but
yeah,
he was so mad, and he was like, clicky now, clicky now. He was raging. It was fantastic.
I still hate you for making me play Nurse on stream that day.
Oh, it was.
Oh. I'm pretty. I might be wrong on this, but I'm pretty sure it was a lobby of Claudettes as well.
I think it was a squad of them. Yeah, to be fair.
Yeah.
No, going back to like what would be an effective nerf to Nurse is take away your second blink and make it an Eerie add-on.
Yeah, I could go with that 100%.
Because obviously Eerie add-ons don't come around too often.
Yeah.
I mean, they do, but they don't.
It really does depend on the luck, really.
It'd be interesting in terms of like, because a lot of the time you use the 2 blinks to get around the map, so they would probably moan about that. So even if you give them the 2 blinks, but the second blink they can't attack on, so if they're using it for distance, it's fine.
Yeah.
And then if you blink the second time, maybe have a slightly reduced cooldown on it, maybe.
Yeah. So you get less of a cooldown, but you can't swing out of it.
Yeah, like when you're exhausted, you know, when she goes like, ugh, and then like that kind of cooldown, that's reduced a little bit if you use the second blink.
It's going to be very interesting to see how this upcoming mid-chapter affects Nurse, because obviously they've buffed Killer a lot in this upcoming mid-chapter. So this is obviously going to buff Nurse a lot as well.
DS in Nurse is going to do absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now that we've talked about the way Nurse plays right now, I genuinely think Nurse is going to be disabled again.
Probably. I can see her being disabled.
I don't have that many nurses. I don't encounter that many nurses that often, but when I do, half of them are fairly decent. It's like that nurse the other day, right? Like they were really good with them.
Oh yeah.
You could juke them. They were sort of predicting too much, but all in all, their blinks were pretty solid.
Yeah.
Now, with the extra gen regression, it's essentially the tank update for League of Legends, where everything is more tanky, so the fights and the games last a bit longer. It's the same as what's happening with Dead by Daylight. So the gen regression is going up. And if they got the meta perks still, because they've not really touched the meta perks where it'd make a significant difference, but with like things like Overcharge or Pop Goes the Weasel, all that kind of stuff, that's just going to make the gen regression insane. I played a quick game earlier as Freddy, because I needed the Dream Chaser daily, and I had Pop Goes the Weasel and Call of Brine, and I hooked someone. The gem was at like 90%. I kicked it, and within about, 10, 15 seconds, it's almost next to nothing on it. It was madness, and that's without the extra 2.5%, the extra regression or whatever else is going on with these perks. It's going to be crazy. Like, Nurse is just going to have to be disabled until they fix something. Maybe send them this podcast. They can take our ideas.
Oh, they've got whole communities screaming at them for years before they do something. But
I think if they want to bring proper balance to this game, something has to be done about Nurse.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, I know Nurse is the overall strongest, but they had no problem with nerfing Spirit, which was arguably the second best, if not the first best on console, because obviously Nurse on console is a lot more difficult.
Yeah.
I think they are just stuck with what they can do to nerf Nurse without people kicking off too much.
Look at what they did with other killers, though. Billy.
That's one of their biggest problems. Is one moment they'll nerf something that doesn't need to be nerfed, or they pander and like panic about doing things that really do need a nerf, but they're like, we don't know how to nerf it. We'll nerf it into the ground and bring it back up if necessary.
Exactly.
Yeah.
To me, they pandered to people with Trickster. Trickster did not need those buffs. The one thing that irritated me about Trickster is the fact that they reduced, you know, when he throws the knives and you have like a little kickback from it, like you would in an FPS game. I think that was perfect. I saw no problem with him. It just means that you have to get good. You have to get a good aim. And me playing an FPS game, I'm used to the kicking on the guns, so it didn't affect me that much. It would be the same on controller if I played controller, but people were complaining that it was too difficult to aim the knives because he was going too far left, right, up, or down, or whatever. And then they pandered to it and then reduced the kickback on him, which I think was stupid. And then they buffed him again, didn't they? Like, where is it? Four knives to get like exposed or whatever the thing is, so you get injured. And then they buffed the add-ons. Where is it? The can, I think it is, that makes you either throw them faster or down them quicker, or it takes less knives.
There's
it's awful.
Like certain killers have certain problems and big weaknesses, and Trickster's biggest weakness is the fact that he has no map pressure. But instead
also
of
rocks.
trying to figure, rock.
Play a game of rock paper scissors with him.
Like,
I'll use rock every time.
Exactly.
To be fair though, like that's just they're not knowing behavior. They're not going to remove rocks anytime soon. No matter how
You'll
much
just add trees for me to run into.
Oh, don't.
I always run into trees or boxes all the time.
I can't remember who we were playing with. I was definitely playing with you. I can't remember if it was Lynx or Ash. And I was running around the tree against this
Yes,
wraith.
it was me. Yeah.
And I ended up, he was looping the tree so loosely that I was chasing him.
That was the game we had the other day.
Yeah.
We was on Call Tower when you did it. Yeah.
I ended up chasing him and I was just in stitches.
Yeah, it was, and then you ran off and he was still running around the tree.
Yeah.
It's just like, my God, the scratch marks are gone. Why are you still going around?
But no, like, it's weird. And like, hats off to behavior in terms of like, they do manage to keep pumping out new content, but at the same time, like, they leave stuff behind. And it's almost like they try and balance the game and do this and that to the game. And like, Nurse is now like the equivalent of Nurse is Bruno, and we just don't talk about Bruno.
Yeah, I get. Look, as much as I talk crap about behavior, they do a fantastic job as well. Like, no memeing around. They do a good job, because otherwise 6 years down the line, we wouldn't still be playing it.
Yeah.
But their priorities are in the wrong place, in my opinion. They're trying to get content pumped out so they can make money, but they don't then reinvest that money into expanding their team, so they can have a separate team for bugs, or a separate team for like seeing if nerfs or whatever are needed, or what nerfs work, or this, that, and the other. They're constantly trying to push out cosmetics and stuff, and I get it, they need to make money, but at the same time, looking from an outsider, and because I run my own business as well, I would rather fix a long time problem to get more people back into the game, or to get more people sort of playing the game and having a more fun experience playing the game, than just pouring out new content just so we can have a peak in overall players or average players just for like a week.
The thing that's always baffled me with behavior is they have a network of people already in place, that they could reliably use to gain information on how to improve the game and what needs to be fixed, and they don't appear to use it. Like the Fog Whisperers, I don't understand how hard it would be to utilize them and their information and their communities to be able to decide what needs doing and what doesn't need doing.
To be fair, even though you say the Fog Whisperers, they only need one man.
Oh yeah,
They just Ots lives, breathes, and eats this game.
Yeah.
Honestly, Ots probably knows more about the game than they do.
Yeah,
and in my opinion, I do think Ots will give a fair, like, sort of, like, what's the word? My brain's gone. He would be fair about it. Let's just say that he'll be fair. He wouldn't.
He's like, not one-sided.
Yeah, he's not. He plays both sides. He's a much better killer, obviously, than he is survivor. But like, if you took that concept and then you went to like 50 Fog Whisperers, pretty much not even 10% of those would be unbiased. So sorry, 10% of those would be unbiased. But then the other 90% would be like, oh, you know what? I really don't like Nurse, or I really don't like this about survivors. So I'm going to say that. It's kind of the same with Call of Duty. You know, back in the day when content creators like Ali and all that kind of stuff, they used to sway their community to pester like, oh, this gun is overpowered, nerf it, whatever, because they always got shat on by it. That's what I don't want to happen, because then these Call of Duty YouTubers that don't know anything about guns saying like how a gun should shoot, it doesn't make sense. So this is why someone like Ots, which is unbiased, would be fantastic to do it, even though they've got their own quality testers.
The way I would see it would be of like having it where you have like the likes of Ots in with, say, 10 of the Fog Whisperers, where they sit down and have a debate about it. Because like someone will go, oh, I don't like this about it. Like, I don't understand how survivors can do this and get away with it or whatever. And Ots can be like, well, that's just you being outplayed. And he would say it. Like, but at the same time, it's always good to have those other opinions and things that he may not think of. Granted, he sits there and makes 16-hour videos on the details of every perk and how they could be improved. But I'd value having more than just the one opinion, even though Ots' opinion is probably low.
So what we could do then is just have a Ots of the round table.
Yeah, essentially.
Pretty much Ots,
like 5
Ots'
killer
word is law.
mains.
Yeah, 5 killer mains, 5 survivor mains. Ots at the head of the table.
Yeah.
And be like, somebody says, oh, nerf survivors because this is an infinite loop. No, just cancel the loop by opening the door and then just outplay them. Like that kind of stuff.
One thing that's generally accepted by the community as a whole, even survivor and killer side, is some maps are far too big.
Yeah.
Some of them are, which that is why gen regression perks are a thing. It's like the Eyrie of Crows. That is a very large map, and if you get an unfortunate gen spread, it is difficult to try and force a 3-gen if you don't recognize it before it happens, especially if you're a new killer.
But that's what I don't understand, is the fact that it's quite well known, it's quite generally accepted that some maps are too big, and then they come out with RPD, and then they come out with Eyrie of Crows, and then even the latest map, alright, it's not massive, but it's still a big map.
I think it's because it's more open. It looks bigger.
It doesn't feel as big, but if go and chase someone around it, and it feels huge.
That's what she said.
I'm very unbiased towards the maps. Like, obviously, I was once a killer main until killer just got too stressful to play.
Yeah.
But I still like even with this mid chapter, I'm probably going to go back to being a killer main.
Same.
Just because killers are getting what they needed and survivors are getting what they needed, which was a nerf. Killers are getting a buff, survivors are getting a nerf. That's great. But in terms of like maps, it may just be the killers I play that, like, I have no problem with RPD, killer or survivor.
Same.
Maybe it's just the killers I play. Like, obviously, I'm a Demogorgon main, and Demo thrives in those types of maps.
Yeah.
just because of the long corridors where I can shred down and they can't go anywhere.
That's why like people like Trickster feel really shit to play on that map, because if you chase one person on the other side of the map, you could down them in 10 seconds, put them on a hook. Barbecue, you see everyone's doing the gen by the library, and it's going to take you 5 working days to walk across the map to go and get them.
Yeah, no, that's where the gen regression comes in, and the fact that they're tanking up the generators, which that would make those kind of plays better. But then you have to like try. I'm trying to be unbiased as I can, but like if you're as a trickster running someone to the opposite side of the map, and you're fully aware that you need to put pressure on a certain gen so you don't easily lose the game, then my response to you is get the survivor in an injured state, go back, put some pressure on the gens, maybe 1 or 2, or if 3 of the survivors are there, one of them will make a mistake, or you can start trying to like chase them, get them downed. So then just keep going back. It's pretty much what I would do to establish presence and pressure in the game.
Then circular healing comes in. You injure someone, you leave them to go and start putting pressure on other people, and they're healed before you've even reloaded your knives.
Well, I think
on that particular map, it's difficult.
I do think though, with self-care being nerfed, I think we're gonna see a lot of circle of healings going forward from this mid chapter.
Yeah, same. But self-care didn't even need a nerf. It took long enough as it is.
Yeah.
Maybe what they could do is just, instead of having the hemorrhaging effect, like that's the only thing that reduces healing, maybe just have it as a global, but the hemorrhaging takes your healing down a lot faster. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So like if you get hit with Sloppy Butcher and you're bleeding profusely, then it goes down like double the speed that it does now. But then if you just get hit, like in what reality do you get stabbed with a knife and then you go to heal yourself and it's like, oh, okay, the blood stopped. And then no, it keeps running until you put the pressure on and actually fully heal it, right? But that's what should happen in game. Maybe you should have a constant bleeding thing, because you're bleeding on the ground, so why are you not losing your health state?
You also don't patch yourself up with back rubs either, so
it's like I don't think self-care should have got the nerf it did, especially with like chorophobia getting its buff.
The thing they could have done with self-care was just take away that item efficiency.
Yeah. And that would have been fine, yeah.
Either that or keep the item efficiency, but have it so it only affects other survivors, not self-caring.
Yeah.
Kind of like botany knowledge, I think. Was that 30%, 35%?
No, it's going up to 50.
Going up to 50 now.
Yeah.
That's actually not going to be that bad.
Self-care with the new botany will be the same as self-care in old botany, roughly.
So you'd need to use them together. But the thing is with that, it's going to be awesome for healing builds. Like you can literally assign one person a healer, give them botany knowledge, streetwise, maybe build to last, and the self-care or whatever, or we'll make it.
It was something I wanted to test out with you, wasn't it? To see if I could get hit with Sloppy Butcher and get you all 5 stacks of Autodidact for 1 heal.
Yeah, we did do that actually. We did it in one of the games.
We got a couple of stacks out of it, and then I got tunneled.
Yeah, as per.
DPD.
It's like another reason I think it shouldn't have gone enough, especially like obviously I said about Chlorofobia recent buff, but also the Dredge's new perk, which is Septic Touch, I believe.
I'm lost.
Which one is that one?
Septic Touch. I know reasonably what it does. I know it affects healing. Whenever a survivor performs a healing action, while they are inside your terror radius, that survivor suffers from the blindness and exhausted status effects.
Yeah, I remember that one. I've not seen that often.
With that perk coming out and also nerfing self-care, it's just going to make people not run self-care. So what's the point in Septic Touch? Obviously, you've got your med kits and stuff, but
I'm just interested to see, like, they say they're going to be monitoring it closely, and I think if certain perks that were used all the time now get completely dropped, they may revisit them and be like, okay, well, clearly we done too much. It's like
Could I just
the spine chill nerf. Sorry, like spine chill. If it works the way it does in that description, there's no point in having it.
Yeah.
It's just the deadest perk. Like
Yeah.
fine, take away the vault speed of it because it didn't really fit it. But
for me it did.
yeah, but
Yeah,
I'm kind of
Spine
hoping
Chill's the one. Spine Chill's the one that's hit me the hardest because I love the Vault Speed build. It is my favorite build because obviously my favorite thing in the game is to get chased.
Exactly, same.
The thing with that is I feel like the way they said it is they're taking away the vault speed from it because it doesn't fit the perk. I feel like there might be a vault speed perk coming out.
Yeah.
That would be a good
in which they probably thought we need to take this off Spine Chill or survivors are going to vault pallets so fast that like it's going to be impossible to hit them.
Well, obviously the next we've got coming up now is the Resident Evil one, which obviously everyone knows about because it was announced on their anniversary stream.
Yeah.
Maybe a perk could come in because I believe the survivors are Ada and Rebecca. So I could see a vault speed kind of perk coming in with maybe Ada, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'd see it more on Ada than I could on Rebecca.
Yeah.
Would there be a second killer, though?
What do you mean?
Is there going to be another killer to come with that chapter? Or is it just
Wesker.
Right, okay. So I didn't see it. So I was out skateboarding with my daughter. So I got to miss the event.
Yeah, it's Ada, Rebecca, and Wesker, or that's how the rumors are going.
Okay, so
the leaks that they've had so far,
as far as Wesker goes, what is his thing?
Well, he's gonna have a similar power to Nemesis. There's another
guy. Okay.
He's gonna infect you in some way, but obviously they leaked that a new item was coming. The same kind of thing as like you use the thing Nemesis gets.
The vaccine.
The vaccine, yeah. There's a new type of vaccine coming with that's linked to Wesker's power. How it works, we obviously don't know yet, but that's the way the kind of leaks have gone and the rumors are starting to shift.
So he kind of looks like Morpheus crossed with the Terminator.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting, but going back to the spine chill part of it is one of the things I've heard mentioned is that the spine chill line of sight part might only be for killers when they're undetectable and not just constant.
If that's the case, that would be much more beneficial to every single stealth killer.
Yeah.
Like even like the non-stealth killers. So for example, if the spine chill doesn't activate if the killer has a terror radius, it activates. If the killer doesn't have a terror radius, it doesn't. So people with like even Deathslinger, for example, with Tinkerer's procced, he's got no red stain, he's got no terror radius, spine chill doesn't activate. And then they can just pull you off the generator or like shoot you and pull you away from it.
Yeah.
That would be fantastic. I think that would be a better way of doing it than just eliminating it entirely. Because obviously the killers around you if they have a terror radius. I think that's the biggest thing of stopping stealthy killers is things like spine chill.
The only thing I thought with it is it could be of a range so that like even if it was like say 10 meters, once they're within 10 meters of you and stealthy, that spine chill would light up. So they still get the advantage of they've creeped up on you.
But they haven't got as long to react.
Yeah, you still get that little bit of a spine chill warning.
Yeah.
Well, the main thing for this now is going to be that this is going to be a major buff to Scratch Mirror Myers.
Yeah.
My absolute favorite build to run.
It's like I did think that Ghostface was kind of one of the more weaker killers these days. But
definitely.
But after facing him the other day, it was strange. Like he was on the game, the guy didn't have any view on me or anything like that, and I was instantly exposed. It was really strange. He stalked me for barely any time, and it was madness. But then when I'm trying to reveal him, I can't remember. I think it was the same match with you, Ryan. I think it was you and Ash that we played
Yeah.
on the new map. I was looking directly at him. The sound was making the sound, and he wasn't moving. He was stood in front of me, and then all of a sudden it just stopped. Like, it didn't allow me to reveal him. So revealing Ghostface at the moment is, unless you're right behind him or he's dead in front of you, is almost impossible.
One thing you have to note with that, though, if he stalks you to complete, and you're trying to reveal him, you can't reveal him anymore.
Yeah, so if you're exposed, you can't reveal him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I know that one. But when I wasn't revealed, that's why it was just didn't let me reveal him, and he just gained it. I know there's like stalking perks which increase it, but it's insane. The Ghostface was very good. He had a lot of pressure, and it was the game as well. I'm not saying like the game map. I mean, I'm not saying that he shouldn't have won or whatever, because he did. He outplayed us. I was playing solo queue at the time, and the people that he was killing first just got outplayed, and he was very good. But I found him more difficult to play against because of how difficult it was to reveal him. Like, even when I was just dead in front of him, and it's just strange how the hitbox is to actually reveal the guy.
I know he's still being tinkered with every now and then.
Didn't they say something about changing his music back to the old one or something?
Was
that's
that a bug.
Oh, it's a bug.
It was a bug.
Yeah.
Why the file was still even in there, I don't know.
It's strange.
But then again, they've got files in there that were in there like 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
all the old offerings as well, like to make the moon brighter or darker.
Yeah.
All those are still in, even though you can't use them anymore.
That's cool.
There's a set of files, because I used to watch The King on YouTube quite a lot, and there's a set of files called the teacher files, and they pertain to like a killer and like certain perks and stuff, but this killer has never been actually released.
That's
But they're
mad.
in the game and have been for years.
It could be the Observer.
No, the Observer's in the basement at the moment.
Yeah. Have they confirmed that it's him?
No, it's not him, but it is him.
It has to be.
In my canon, it's him.
Oh yeah, thinking back to the nerfs and stuff like that, I think the built-in BT is a good thing. What is it, 2.5 seconds or something? You get endurance.
5.
Yeah,
5 seconds.
I think that's a very good thing. But I think what they could do if they truly wanted to stop tunneling and camping, they should. I've said this from before the twins were out, but the fact that they added this to the twins was a bonus. You can't. People used to camp the hook with Victor, right? You have to be a certain distance away from the hook before you can activate Charlotte into Victor, Victor into Charlotte. So why not do that with every single killer? Because if you can't activate their power, if they like a face camping Bubba, what good is a endurance effect and like Walmart borrow time? If you got a face camping Bubba and they charge in their M2 right by the hook, and then the one person's down, and then the other person gets a hit, and with the speed of Bubba, they can catch up to the survivor, no problem, and just hit them again.
Even Trickster.
Exactly.
Trickster's arguably better than Bubba is sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. And especially if Trickster hits main event, just as it happens as well.
Oh, yeah,
like there's no chance that you're getting that person away and off the hook. So if they truly wanted to remove tunneling and camping, I think the best thing that they could do to do that is, if you're within the terror radius of the person on the hook, you can't activate your power. You can't activate your shred. You can't activate your chainsaw. You can't activate your throwing knives. You can't throw a hatchet. That kind of stuff, because that would stop people from sniping, from camping the hook. Then, because then you'd actually get benefits out of the wish borrowed time or whatnot.
The way I thought about it before was similar to how they done the Pyramid Head cages, where if you stay around a hook for too long, that it would transport them to a different hook.
Yeah, I get that, but then that's kind of, what's that perk? I ran it the other day because it was the only perk I had on Hardy. Is it that way they've changed the name of it, haven't they? Because like if somebody's looping the killer around you around the hook, you get extra time on the hook.
Yeah, it's camaraderie, or I think it's kinship now.
Kinship. So unless you build that into the survivor on the hook, that's the only other way that you can stop him. Because the killer knows 2 minutes on the hook, the second stage and dead. That's all they need to do. And it's not hard, to be honest. But the thing is, if you do the same thing where a killer's like hanging around the hook, then how are you going, like with the pyramid head, it's easy because the cage just dissolves into the floor or whatever it does and then transports somewhere else. How can you do that with a hook? Like, what's the sort of now the entity's transporting you kind of thing? It kind of doesn't make sense. If they had that to begin with, that would be good. But there's nothing that they can put in now to do it. So that's why I think disabling the killer's power, if they're within the terror radius of the hooked survivor, I think that would be the best way to do it. And if they're lingering around the survivor gets, or we could pause it for a duration of time and then come back on, that kind of thing. Because that's if they wanted to actually get rid of it. Just something to actually stop.
They won't get rid of it. They just want to make it less appealing. The reason they won't get rid of it is everyone knows full well sometimes you have to camp and sometimes you have to tunnel.
Yeah, sometimes you do, 100%. I'm not against it at all. There's times where I've just got absolutely shredded and just gen rushed. And
That's
I'm
what
unfortunate.
They don't want to completely get rid of it. They just want to make it less rewarding and less viable to completely win a game by doing it at the start of a match.
Yeah. So this is why disabling the killer's power when they're in the terror radius of the hooked survivor. And if they down somebody if they down the survivor, maybe just take away, like they get minus blood points for it kind of thing, or they don't rank up because of it. I think they do have something similar like that on the end screen, don't they?
You do get
proximity
penalized if you're too close to the hook when they get
It's not too much though.
Well, it's a couple of blood points. Like no one cares.
Yeah, nobody cares about that. Especially when they're nerfing the blood points to like 75%. You don't need to like spend 75% as much to get everything. Cryzin spent
more a buff, isn't it?
Yeah, buff. Yeah, that's my mistake. I've spent about 7 million on Huntress so far.
I'm interested to see. I think in the patch notes they were saying they're going to take into consideration how many blood points you've spent on certain killers and survivors. So you might you might have a prestige 800 by the time the thing actually comes out.
That will be cool because I've spent well over 12 million, I think, on Freddy. So that would be good if I get a rebate. It's like a tax rebate for blood points, isn't it?
Freddy, mate. It won't be blood points.
It's more they're just going to take you to the prestige you're meant to be at if you spent that amount of blood points.
Nice.
I can't wait to see how many people are going to have the stream title of like highest prestige demo, probably
on release. Oddsdava will probably just instant prestige 10 or whatever it is. He was like, I completed it, mate.
Well, the cap's 100 now.
Wait, the prestige cap is 100?
Prestige cap is 100.
Yep.
Jeez. I must have misread that. That's why I thought it was 10.
No. You get rewards up to level 9.
Right, okay.
And then you can basically you haven't got a choice whether to prestige or not anymore. They take that away.
Yeah, you'll automatically prestige.
But it's cool that they're keeping the collectibles and stuff. Yeah. My only gripe is the fact that when you do prestige, you lose the stuff, because I've got some old items and stuff on Meg.
Not from the mid chapter onwards. You don't lose any stuff from when you prestige now.
Yeah. So I want to prestige my Meg to get them all to prestige 3, at least all the survivors to prestige 3, before the update comes out. But I think it's going to be difficult letting go of the old Autohaven wreckers, the old wreckers yard kind of stuff.
I wouldn't do it.
I don't think I'm going to be able to. So she's the only person that I'm not going to have that sort of. Well, she probably won't, because
that's going to be rarer than having a prestige 3 Meg icon.
Yeah, that is
100%.
True. I've got a few of them left. I was going to stream and say goodbye to them. Pretty much. Just play Meg and just say goodbye to the old things, where it significantly increases the chances of going to Autohaven or something.
Yeah.
They were cool things though. They didn't make an ounce of difference really. But they're just cool to have.
I think they were a 25% increase one day or something stupid like that.
Yeah. And when I used to play, there was like 5 different ones all the time. And I used to cry because there was like slightly increased mine was, and then they had considerably increased the chances.
See, I made that difficult decision that I wanted to prestige Demo and Steve.
Yeah.
So I'd at least have one survivor and one killer with a special kind of prestige icon.
Mm-hmm.
And especially since obviously they're both my mains.
Yeah.
But I did lose a lot of old offerings and old cakes and stuff.
The cakes, yeah.
I'm
It's
quite
difficult.
lucky in that sense that I've like only in like the last year or so that I moved to PC, so I haven't got any of the really old stuff.
Did you have any on your console?
Probably. I have to blow the dust off it and see what comes out.
You're using some monitorizer at the moment, aren't you?
Yeah.
It's a very expensive monitorizer.
It's not even plugged in. I don't even know where the cables are, to be honest with you. Yeah.
So back onto you then, Linksy boy.
Mm-hmm.
So your collections. For those of you that haven't seen the stream, he's got a very large collection of games, just collectibles in general, Pokemon cards and memorabilia and stuff. One of my favorite games that he has is obviously Playboy Mansion. So do you want to go into more detail about, like, for example, how long you've been collecting your games, all that, and your thought process behind it?
Oh God, we're going back years now. So my collection is, I think it's because the stuff you've seen, Kev, is not the full of it.
I can imagine though.
It's just what I can fit in my room currently. Because
oh. So, do you have like an attic or something with them all in, or do you still have them on display?
So I still have my Commodores with all the games, Sega Saturn, basically every single old console you can think of. I've got it. Mega CD, got it.
Okay, so I had an Amiga. Do you have that?
Yep, I've got the Amiga.
Oh, fair enough. The floppy disks, insert floppy 2 to continue, insert floppy 3. You had to code it or something to load up the game. It was awful.
See, I've got that with I think it's Mortal Kombat. I think I've got like 3 or 4 floppies of that. With different stuff on, but a majority of my collection is due to me being a very sick kid.
Right, okay.
I spent a lot of my childhood years in hospital. So like a lot of my collection comes from maybe a weekly walk to Toys R Us to find some new games to play, because obviously I couldn't leave the hospital much.
Yeah.
Actually, one of the most fondest memories I do have of like stuff like that is on PlayStation 1. I have Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
Oh my God,
I have that on PC.
At one point in my like episodes in hospital, I had the whole of the ward of nurses trying to get me to 1 million. And we eventually did, and it was the most wholesome, beautiful moment in my entire life.
That's fantastic. Awesome. How long did it take you to get that 1 million though? How many times did you fail before you got it?
There was quite a few times. I think if I was to give an estimate number on it, we failed about anywhere between 10 and 20 times.
Oh God, that's pretty good though, to be fair.
That's not bad.
That's really good. I remember I had do you remember those like cornflakes and Kellogg's cornflakes and stuff that contained game CDs or
Oh my God, them ones.
Yeah, I had Who Wants to Be a Millionaire in one of those. And I played it and it was bloody hard. I couldn't get past like 32k at one point, and that was the highest that I got. It was awful. But for you to get 1 million in like 10 to 20 tries, that's fantastic.
Definitely.
But one side of my collection, I don't think you saw it. You know when did I ever show you the shelves with all like my pop figures and different stuff on?
I don't believe you did, no.
No.
I think you pulled 1 or 2 things out from there, but I don't think you actually showed the shelf.
So behind the shelf of pop figures, where nobody can see, is a lot of Mega Drive games as well.
Okay.
But they don't. How do I say it? I wish I could put them somewhere else. Like, I've always wanted a kind of setup where, a lot of streamers setups, like where you can see either Sneak Collection, for example, in the back, or like Game Collection or Pop Figure Collection.
Yeah.
I wish I could do something like that with how my setup is, but the way my desk is positioned and like my back is towards the back end of my room, where the camera won't necessarily pick up much anyway. Like, from time to time, you get my Sneak Collection in the shop, but that's usually only when I'm on my intermissions like screen or something.
Yeah, it's the same with me, because we cut our cameras down to be like smaller for the game. When I go to my just chatting screen, you can see to my right, I think it is, my Sneak Collection, but then the only time you can see anything Sneak is the snowboard that I have, which is constantly there because I wanted it positioned. So it has to be in shot.
It has to be.
I am jealous you got it. How much did that cost you? I didn't actually see the full price of it.
The entire order came to 900 and something, because I bought the collector's edition with the hockey puck and everything. I bought I bought a second Blizzard cup shaker. I bought an extra tub of Blizzard and the hoodie too. So I bought everything in the collection, and I wanted doubles of things so I could have one for display, and then I can actually have one to drink out of. It's the same with the toys. I've got 2 of each toy. I've got 2 of the metal shakers, the black ones as well. But yeah, that entire order came to about 900 and something pounds. I think the board was around 650 to 750-ish on its own. And I didn't even, I was like, I really want it. I really do want it, but it's expensive. But then I was having a cup of coffee that was like a coffee day with my wife, like we always do when we drop the little into school. We either go to the gym, or if it's like a day off from the gym, we go to a coffee shop and just have a coffee and just talk about things. And that particular Friday, it was the drop, and we were just talking about it, and it's like, they've released, I just can't believe that it's a snowboard kind of thing. It's pretty cool. I've always wanted a snowboard. I've always wanted to try and snowboard, especially because of my love of skateboarding and rollerblading and stuff. And we were just talking about it, and it'd be really cool. And it was coming to like 2:00, so about an hour before the drop. And my wife was like, "Just get it." I was like, "What?" And she was just like, it wasn't even me that decided it. That's the thing. As much as I wanted it, I didn't want to justify the money, because I don't like spending on myself.
Yeah.
But I like spending on other people, because that makes me happy, and seeing people's like reaction and like them being happy that they've got something, or like if it's dropping subs on Twitch, that kind of thing, that makes me happy, knowing that I've lightened someone's mood up or brightened their day just a little bit, So the fact that my wife did that to me and just was like, just get the snowboard. I was like, are you sure? Even I was like hovering over it, like even when I was buying it, like an hour later, I was like, Are you sure? And she's like, yeah, just do it. So I did it, and I still can't believe it now. I look beside me, I see the little fluffy bunny ears that I've put on it, and it's crazy that I've got it. Like it is genuinely a really nice snowboard. Like it was well worth the wait. Trust me.
That was one of the. Go on.
Go on. No, you go. You go.
That was one of probably one of the scariest moments of my life, when I did come up to yours and surprised you, and we were speaking. I think you finished stream. You were speaking like, "Do you want to touch the snowboard?" And in my head, I just went, "Absolutely fucking not! I am not touching that."
No, it is really nice though. There was something
stunning, but I'm not touching it.
It is. I know. It's madness.
See, I will, Kev. I will counterclaim you on the whole you don't like spending on yourself, because there is one moment where it's kind of more for yourself in a sense than me, is when you gave the sub to Stream Elements so you could use the cussy command.
Yo, I could have done that in secret. I use Stream Elements too, Yo, best $3.99 I've ever spent, hands down. Like, honestly, it is.
Yeah.
I like. You know what? That was for me. Okay.
I told you.
I was like, shit.
It wasn't.
Like,
No, let's scale that back. It wasn't for you. Let's be honest. It was done for the Gussie.
It was done for the Gussie. To be fair, it was done for the community. It was done for the memes. You know, I live for memes, and the fact that was like the idea of a Gussie command, and then you made it. I was like, shit. What if the sub runs out? Or like, what if it doesn't have a sub to do it? Shit. Let's do it. And I was just like, it needs it. So I was like, because that's what happens on my stream. Like, so when I've got like this big tickle. If you want to give someone a big tickle or something, it's got the tickle emote. And every so often, or like when I'm doing the sub raids, that kind of stuff, when the sub isn't there, it like looks kind of awkward. So if Stream Elements doesn't have a sub in your stream, all you'll see is Gussie, 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 Gussie. So I don't know what's worse, seeing the word Gussie repeated all the time, or actually seeing the Gussie. So I thought, you know what, screw it. Let's just have perma Gussie, shall we?
Yeah.
But best $3.99 I've ever spent.
Do you know what? Out of all the emotes I've ever seen in my life as well, including the Gussie, your tickle emote is the most cursed thing I've ever seen in my life.
It is. Oh my god! You know what? How about if I put my tickle emote and then the Gussie?
No. Oh no!
It's just got to be done. Is it a follower emote? Oh, it's not.
I can picture it now, and I hate everything about it.
You know what? Quickly go to Aaron's chat. But yes, like honestly, Sneak is a company. I know we've gone off a tangent. This isn't a sponsored, but if anybody from Sneak is watching, me and Aaron are looking to be sponsored by you guys. So just reach out to us. But all jokes aside, like honestly, every flavor that I've tasted from them, they've hit the nail on the head. Like the flavors are genuinely nice.
I do have to admit, the only flavor I will not go anywhere near is that new Origins one. Because it's rhubarb and custard.
Yeah.
See, I love it.
It's my favorite.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with rhubarb and custard.
I hate it. It is the one thing. Like, I have very few things in my life when it comes to flavoring of either food or drink. For drink, rhubarb and custard is not. It rivals gherkins and cinnamon. I hate all of it.
That's fair enough. That's the thing though. Like, you're probably the same as me. Like, if you did get a sponsorship by someone or whatever, you'd be like, you tell the truth. Like, you'd be unbiased even though you're sponsored by them, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what people need these days. It's like the Raid Shadow Legends meme.
Shadow Legend.
I didn't particularly want to say the name, but I've been seeing
anyway.
I know, but I've been seeing a lot of content creators that I watch and whatever on YouTube, Twitch, and then now advertising that. I had another offer the other day to advertise them. In total, the last couple of months, they've offered me over $1,000's worth of like sponsored ad ships or whatever you want to call it on my stream and on my content and stuff. I've just declined them all because it's not a game that I'll play. It's not a game that I want to promote. So I'm not interested in it.
Yep.
And neither would my audience be. It's like something like Sneak. There's a majority of my audience that either drink energy drinks or would be interested in it, kind of thing. So, and it's something that I found off my own back, and because I was looking for an equivalent to G Fuel in the UK, and they came up, and I was like, oh, I'll try this. Like, I did stand on it for a while. I was like, should I, shouldn't I? So, but I ordered the taster pack, and they're fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Even some of the flavors that I didn't think I would like cherry bomb, and there was the sour apple. I hate apple products. Any apple products, they just taste too synthetic, too fake, and just overly sweet, that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But even tasting the sour apple, I loved it. Like, it grew on me. Like, the more I drank of it, the more I enjoyed it. Yeah. And then I think my first tub, or first 2 tubs rather, that I bought was I think it was limited edition. So limited edition Cola Millions. Yeah. And Blue Raspberry. So they were the 2. And Blue Raspberry still stands at like one of my all-time favorites. Blizzberry, the community drop, which is Blue Raspberry and Blizzard mixed together. Fantastic. rhubarb and custard is 100% my favorite. I don't care what anyone says. Like, that is my favorite.
My overall favorite that will probably, I don't think it'll ever be beaten, is the strawberry and watermelon.
See, that's very fresh, isn't it?
Mm.
It's really nice. That'd be nice with some rocks of ice. Cold summer's day, just like sipping back. Really nice flavor that is.
I'm excited for their new flavor, the peach iced tea.
See, I'm not a fan of peach. That's the thing. I'm not a fan of. I know they'll hit it out of the park with it. They always do. But I'm not a fan of peach. So I said to my wife, I said, you like peaches. Do you want to buy it for you? It's a community drop. It's limited edition. I was very excited for the Royal Blood, but then it was a Europe only drop.
Yeah.
Because that one I would have loved. And I did have 2 people lined up to buy it for me. But one of them was in a meeting, so they couldn't get out of the meeting to do it. And then the other person just straight up forgot because they were streaming. Which is, like, it's nothing thingy on them, but it's fine. It did sell out within like 15 minutes though, I think. It was insane. So, like, because it sold out so quickly, that's when I was like, that's fine. It's no worries. Like, it's obviously gonna go crazy, right?
Actually, I told a bit of a lie. Even though, yes, I do love strawberry and watermelon, which it is still my favorite. And I was very, very gutted when they did bring it back. I want Blackout back. Blackout was...
I've never tasted it.
Yeah. Same.
It's
Is
a
it
very... No. Blackout is a variation on Stealth.
I didn't taste that either. The legacy products I didn't taste.
Is Stealth the green one?
Stealth is the green one, yeah. It's the one that got removed eventually with the sneak delete. Because I've still got my sneak delete box behind me and it's still full of Stealth. I try and not drink it too much because I don't want to run out of it. Because who knows if they're going to bring it back or not? Maybe.
They still
maybe
sell
not.
it in America, don't they?
Yes. So America lost Purple Storm.
Oh, that's very nice.
That's a big loss.
And yeah, we lost Stealth. And EU, I'm not too sure. I think they still have one or the other.
They lost Britain.
You know, that was a good one.
I have one of them.
Speaking of America, your American friend came over. So going back to the start of the conversation with lockdown and stuff like that, you not being able to see your IRL friends, you could maybe get your American friend. He's a good-looking guy, and he's got an amazing voice. Just saying.
Oh yeah.
But, funnily enough, he just messaged me on Discord.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah.
But honestly, good-looking guy, fantastic voice. I love when he was doing the voices on your stream. It was a very, very entertaining stream. I absolutely loved it. So next time he comes down, get him to fetch some bits of stealth down for you.
Ah, true. Yeah, I could.
And if he does, I'll slip you some money to try some too.
Carrying tubs of powder over from America is easy.
They used to it though. Hey, get out of my bag. Some nice powder.
Nice powder.
Instead of nice cock.
I think that alert is still it will remain unmovable, I think, for the foreseeable future.
It's fantastic. I
How
love it.
much he sounds like Kronk is unbelievable.
He reminds me of, what's his name from Family Guy? Joe.
Joe.
Yeah.
He can do both. Yeah, he can do both.
He's got that deep voice for it, hasn't he? Like, it's fantastic.
But yeah, carry on.
No, I was just thinking out loud then. That was me. That was my brain.
Go for it.
It doesn't do it often, so it comes out.
Yeah. The brain cell activates. So with regards to streaming, are there any games that you've played before that you think are like underrated, or games that don't have a big audience but should?
I'd have to hold on. I'll have to go back and see what I've played.
Like whether you've streamed it or whether you haven't, it doesn't matter. But it's more like of an indie game kind of thing, or like a game that people were hyped about, but then they forgot about when it was released.
Like
for example, all the hype around Home Sweet Home Survive, and then it just died out.
Yeah.
That kind of style, but one that actually deserves hype or deserves more spotlight.
That's a good question. Power Wash Simulator.
You know what? Honestly, for my OCD, I'm very tempted to buy it. I'm not even joking.
I was playing multiplayer on it last night. Just me and Chris were just cleaning a train. It was very very fun.
There's actually a game coming out soon that you might enjoy with that. It's called A Little to the Left.
Okay.
So it's a purely organizational game. So it's based on like these people's houses, and you've got to go around straight in the pictures that are
no.
putting the books in the correct order and.
Oh no. That will kill me.
But there is an asshole cat that will come across and destroy your hard work, and you have to redo it as well.
No, that's just anger inducing. No.
That would be a fun stream to watch me and you play.
I would love to see it.
Oh,
I need to know it to put it on my wish list, and I will play it. And I will mold.
As someone who's owned a cat as well.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
The little video I watched on it was brilliant because they were like explaining the game, and then they like start talking about the cat, and the actual cat that the cat is based off comes into the room, jumps on the table, and slaps the camera.
Jeez. It's awful.
A Little to the Left is a cozy puzzle game that has you sort, stack, and organize household items into pleasing arrangements while you keep an eye out for a mischievous cat with an inclination for chaos. Check out this playful, intuitive puzzler with 75 plus satisfying messes to tidy. Add to the wish list.
Yeah, I've downloaded the demo. I've literally, as you started reading it, I saw that it had a demo. So I've downloaded that.
Oh, that's gonna kill me.
Yeah, this. I'm not a fan of cats. It just seems like arseholes in general. Like my neighbors had cats, and I'd be in the shower, and they just climb through my bathroom window with a dead mouse or something for me. I was like, "Oh, cheers, dude, thank you." And
take it to your own house.
Yeah, take it to your own house. But then whenever I used to go over there, like, I had food or something like that, the cat would just come, jump on my lap and just shove his ass in my face. Like, just put it, and it kind of looked like it's graphic, but it was like, you know, when you get a sausage roll and just like bite the end off and you see all that. It's like not nice when you're eating or drinking, like, and you just see that like sausage roll butt in your face. It's not nice.
You've single-handedly just ruined sausage rolls.
But that's what I'm watching this trailer for this game, and it is, it's
I'm watching it as well. I'm watching it. I'm not happy about this.
No, but honestly, it looks fun though, doesn't it? It does look fun.
It's one of those ones of like when you're just having one of those days where you just need something to like focus on or take your mind off something, just to hop on and do something.
Yeah.
Keep yourself occupied.
It's cool how they've merged the game into real life with the camera.
Yeah.
It does give an element of coziness to it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Are there any games? Sorry, go ahead.
That game was on the games reel I sent you, which also contained Choo Choo Charlie.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's already in my wish list.
What, Choo Choo Charlie?
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
There's a few indie games on there. Like there was one, I forget the name of it now, but you effectively play the life of a fly, and you have the life expectancy of a certain country to complete objectives as this fly. It's really weird, and I mean, like, it's proper old school, like.
What's that game?
Stick game style. It's literally just like you're a black dot with wings that you move it up and down, left and right, and do things.
So pretty much, you are the fly episode of Breaking Bad.
Yeah. There's stuff like learn to play an instrument, and you've got to fly over to a guitar, and like he just like swings across the guitar and plays the strings, and that's apparently learning an instrument.
That sounds something that you would really like, to be fair. That's a weird sounding game.
Yeah, there is some weird ones on there.
So Aaron, is there any games that you're looking forward to being released?
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yes, that's one.
I'm just waiting to see more on it. I need more details.
It did get another trailer if you haven't seen it.
Ooh.
How long ago was that?
It was for the Summer Games Festival or something like that.
Okay, so it's fairly recent then.
Yeah, very recent. I think it was like last week or the week before.
I'll have to check that out then.
Yeah.
Any other games apart from that one?
Pokemon, the Violet and Scarlet.
Yeah, that's on my playthrough list.
Yeah, me and Ash have got a collab ready to go for that, where we're just going to play through it together.
Yeah.
Because it's open world, isn't it?
Yes. So you can join up to 3 other people can join you, or 4.
Yeah. Well, it's 4 in total.
It's 4 in total, isn't it?
Yeah, 4 in total. 3 can join you, and you can go anywhere in each other's worlds and just do whatever and continue your story and whatnot. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It'd be good if you could join someone else's game and have a villain arc and just be like his version of Team Rocket.
Yeah.
Their version of Gary.
Yeah.
It's like, so you want to catch this Gyarados, shiny Gyarados in the wild, huh? You have to battle me first, scrub. And then Ash is like,
you just go, oh, poo.
No, actually, one game I am excited for, which it's been a while for me to be excited about this certain game, but Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2.
You know what? I didn't play it when it was at its peak. I was late. I was a late bloomer. I think I went over this in one of the previous episodes where I started off on a Wii. And then I played Xbox and I just shat on everyone. So I was like, oh, this is what it's like to actually have decent graphics and a controller that isn't a Wiimote. So, like, I joined, I think, Modern Warfare 3, sort of maybe on the tail end of Black Ops Modern Warfare 3. So I rebought Modern Warfare 2. I kind of enjoyed the story. It was kind of cool. But as far as the multiplayer goes, I didn't really see the hype around it. I don't know what it was. It's strange, but
in my opinion, like it's just my preference. I did prefer Modern Warfare 3. Modern Warfare 3 is the game that saw most of my hours.
Yeah.
But I do have a very, very like soft spot in my heart for Modern Warfare 2. I didn't play it as much as 3, but it was definitely one of my. Yeah, the gameplay was good. It was just absolute chaos all the time. Get a Harrier, get a chopper gunner, then suddenly you've got a nuke, and it's
game over.
It was just carnage, and I loved every moment of it.
The lobbies, 3 is when the lobbies were just amazing.
Honestly, if they brought those lobbies back, that would be the only way that I would get those kind of games on a yearly basis.
The amount of people that were doing my mother was unbelievable.
But the thing is, the way my mother is, I wouldn't dispute that, to be fair. but yeah, like, I'm more excited for Call of Duty Ghosts 2. Because Call of Duty Ghosts I fell in love with like getting competitive in Modern Warfare 3, but Call of Duty Ghosts was my absolute favorite. Like, I don't care what anyone else says, gameplay-wise, competitiveness, Ghosts was the best, because as soon as Advanced Warfare was kind of okay, but because like I had very good gun skill anyway, mix that in with like my paddles that I had, so I can boost jump extra quick, like rather than moving my hands across the controller or whatever to press the button as well as aim and shoot. I just found I was like a fish in water when I came to Advanced Warfare. Everything just came naturally easy to me, but it wasn't a challenge. But the competitiveness of Call of Duty Ghosts, the games, the gameplay, the guns and everything, it was just fantastic. That was the best Call of Duty by far for me. And I'm just gutted they didn't finish the story.
The only factor I loved about Ghosts, and the fact you didn't say it has disappointed me a lot, is no. In terms of Ghosts, the Juggernaut suit where you could just run around with a knife.
Oh my god, the amount of times that I got killed by that.
That
It was
my
infuriating.
favorite.
No,
I loved that suit so much.
that's for people who can't get kills normally.
You had to get
Nice.
kills normally to get it in the first place. What are you talking about?
But you were one of those little campers, wasn't you? Just in the corner, just hiding in the train on freight with, what is it, akimbo weapons and stuff.
God, no. I'm a very run and gun type of player on Call of Duty.
Yeah, same.
I love the run and gun.
Yeah,
That's why I didn't get on with Battlefield. Like I've never liked a Battlefield at all.
Yeah, same. I've enjoyed the kind of like planning your snipes. I like the sniper aspect where it's like Sniper Elite, where you have to plan your movements and then you have to pick people off. That kind of stuff. I like that aspect, but there isn't a run and gun sort of element to that game. And I think in that respect, we're both spoiled with how fast paced Call of Duty is compared to how slow paced Battlefield is.
If there was anything I would love to come back, it is because obviously everyone's on the Warzone kind of thing now.
Yeah, I'm not fast on it.
I would prefer that they continued with Blackout, the Black Ops 4 Battle Royale.
Yeah.
Because no Battle Royale has ever come close to Blackout. Warzone is nothing. In my opinion, just my preference.
Yeah.
It's nothing on Warzone. Or Warzone's nothing on Blackout. One of them.
I don't believe I've played Blackout. That's the only thing. But Treyarch always used to smash the Call of Duties out of the water. Like Black Ops 1 was great. Black Ops 2 was fantastic. I wasn't too much keen on Black Ops 3. Did they make a fourth one as well?
Yeah, because that's what Blackout was in.
Was that Cold War?
No.
Cold
War
was
Black
after.
Ops 4.
So I think I may have missed Black Ops 4 then. But Black Ops 3, because that was still the wall running and stuff, right?
Yeah, Black Ops 3 was the boost jump and the one game to actually do it right, because Advanced Warfare didn't do it right. Yeah, in my opinion.
Advanced Warfare was just like instantly shooting up in the air. It was just ridiculous. That's what made it so easy. If you had good gun control and stuff, it just made it easy to just shit all over people.
Yeah,
and like single-handedly carry competitive games. It was really bad. I think the best League play has to be between Treyarch and who made Ghost? Was it Sledgehammer that made Ghost?
No, that was Infinity Ward.
Infinity Ward, yeah. Because they're not on that cycle anymore, are they? Is it just the two of them?
They've kind of shook things up. In terms, Treyarch is still one of the major ones. Infinity Ward is still one of the major ones. But I think from time to time now, they have either Sledgehammer work on a Treyarch title or Raven Software working on something else to do with the title.
Yeah.
They've kind of taken I think they've taken Sledgehammer out of the whole rotation of making a game, because obviously any of the games that they made didn't really receive well. I mean, there was World War II, didn't really receive well, and people were too much expecting it to be like World at War.
Yeah, that was the big mistake of naming it World War II.
And then you've got
that expectation.
Warfare, with no one wanted Advanced Warfare.
No, it seemed cool on paper and the trailers and stuff, but when you actually got to sit down and play it, it was just awful. Because it's not just the boost jump, you had the boost slide as well, I think.
Yep.
And you could just do that for days. There was no like cooldown, there was no like nothing. It was like you could just slide away, no problem.
Never that good.
Yeah, your poor wrist, Ryan.
It's good for my wrist. I just shock him with my aim. My hands aren't.
No, I've seen how bad your aim is. Like, and that's on keyboard and mouse too.
There is one game I hope with this year's con based around it. I hope they do announce crossplay / cross progression. And this is the only game that I have more hours in than I do Dead by Daylight. And it is Warframe. I miss Warframe.
I played that back in the day. I never sort of played it much. Maybe because I was either bad at it or my computer couldn't run it smoothly enough. Because I think I had like a laptop. If it's the game I'm thinking of, but is it free to play?
Yes.
Yeah, I think it is then.
It's got like Tenno like suits.
Yeah.
Like Loki or Ember or Rhino, stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
it is in my library. I see the last time I played it.
I played it ever since the first day the PlayStation 4 dropped, and it's just been a game that I've obviously, with me moving over to PC when I started streaming, obviously I couldn't take my account with me,
Yeah.
so I haven't played it. Well, I've played it on and off because I've still got the PlayStation 5, so I do play it on and off, but not as much as I'd like to because it's not on my PC.
Yeah.
Right.
And I have streamed that from time to time, and I did get decent viewership for it. Like, and that is just one game. I hope for TennoCon this year they do announce that cross progression and everything is ready to go, so I can play that again.
It's starting to come out a lot more.
Have they hinted towards it?
They at last year's TennoCon they announced it, and
okay.
They showed a working build for it, but it's been almost a year now from it, so I'm expecting or hoping that it's ready by now.
Yeah.
Because they showed the build that they were playing with someone on Xbox, on PlayStation, on PC, and on Switch. So
okay,
hopefully that is ready to go by now, and then I can start playing what is probably my favorite game again.
Yeah, that would be nice too. Because the thing is, the only thing stopping cross progression and cross play and stuff is the development, not the developers. Sorry, the like Microsoft.
Usually Sony or Microsoft, one of them.
One of them doesn't want to play nice with the other.
And it's childish, really, because like I get the Sony exclusives, the Microsoft exclusives, that thing. I get it, okay, but the crossplay, like the amount of people that don't have friends on the same console, but they've got a different console, or they've got PC, that kind of stuff. Why not let everyone play together? Because the developers have it, they have access to it. It's just the manufacturers just won't allow it for some reason.
In terms of a business decision, I understand, because obviously I am one of the very, very many I've seen on like the Warframe forums and that want to move from either PlayStation or Xbox to PC.
Yeah.
And I understand that when they do, obviously people that are buying Platinum or any of the Sony or Microsoft do lose money on that.
I totally agree, but Microsoft won't lose as much money as Sony because of Xbox Game Pass, all that kind of stuff. Because they're bringing now Xbox games obviously to PC, which is where the Game Pass for PC thing comes in.
Yeah,
and they'll be making the money that way. And if Sony did exactly the same thing, if they had, like, is it PlayStation Play? I think it's called
PlayStation Plus.
PlayStation Plus is the subscription. Does that come with like the same thing as Game Pass then?
Essentially, yes.
Okay, cool. So if they had that, but for PC as well, they had their own app where they could connect to the servers, download cloud gaming, or they could download their games and play them on PC. That will be a massive game changer as well, because Microsoft can't stop them doing that.
Yeah.
Because it's just an application. It's just like a separate launcher like Steam or Epic Games, that kind of stuff.
Oh, also another game I'm excited for that I forgot about. That's coming October this year. Sons of the Forest.
Not heard of that one. What's that about?
Have you ever played The Forest?
Yes, once or twice. Very briefly.
So it is the continuation of that. Maybe a different story. I have yet to know about anything like that, but Sons of the Forest is due out this year. That's a continuation or another game based on The Forest, which was
nice. It's like a horror themed game, right?
Yeah. It's survival horror.
Yeah. Just looking at it now, it just looks pretty cool. It looks a little bit like Rust.
In a sense, yeah.
Yeah. But it's like got a story to it then. It's single player.
And then obviously Choo Choo Charles, I'm waiting for that. That's going to be fun. But there's also another one. Do you guys know about like DayZ / The Division, games like that.
Yeah, I know about them, but I've never really got into them and played them myself personally.
There's basically a game coming called The Day Before, which is releasing a day before my birthday next year.
Ironic.
Nice.
That's open world zombie survival. And it's got very many like aspects of The Division or aspects of DayZ, which is zombie survival.
Yeah.
That's going to be exciting.
Is it
that
something
looks
to do with The Last of Us?
It's the same kind of thing, yeah. But it's more, if you've ever played The Division or DayZ, it's more on that kind of
That level.
Yeah.
An interesting one. Keep an eye out for.
Yeah, definitely. Because those types of games, they're always fun anyway.
And then another game, Nightingale, which is open world survival craft. That one looks like it's going to be very fun.
There was something really satisfying about like survival and crafting games. Just building crap.
just crafting.
It's generally just building crap and then watching someone come along and do what you try to do, but 10 times better.
It's like
anyway.
Skill diff.
They're my favorite type of games, like post-apocalyptic kind of open world survival. It's like I'm not sure how many people know this, but it's based. My name, which is Apocalynx, is based on those type. It's based on my love for like a post-apocalyptic gaming or like stuff like that. And obviously, I like lynx, cats.
I was just about to say, one of my questions were, how did you get your name? Because I've done some digging and noticed that you created a new Steam account back in 2020, which you've only ever used Apocalynx for. So I was going to ask you two questions.
Go for it.
One, where did your name come from? Which you've just answered it. So Apocalypses, and I'm guessing Lynx was either for a cat or the fact that you had a cat named Lynx, maybe.
No, I just love lynx cats. They're my overall favorite animal, apart from maybe a close second with wolves.
Gussies.
That's a whole different breed of animals, right?
Yeah.
But
Gussie.
So there was that question, which you've obviously just answered. Then my other question is, what other names have you gone by? Apart from Apocalypse. Because we can't, because on your Steam name, because it was made in the 22nd of October of 2020, specifically, it doesn't show me, obviously, if you got any other accounts and what names were there. So come on, spill the beans.
The other account names will be console based. Because obviously I only moved to PC in 2020.
Ah, right. So that's when you had your PC. That's why this is your first and only Steam account then.
Yes.
Right. So gamer tags, spill them.
So
if it's Gussie, I'm gonna cry.
No, it's not. So one of my first ever back before I did take the Apocalynx name. Have you've heard of the word maelstrom, right?
Yes.
Cool word, cool kind of like meaning behind it in terms of like weathering.
What it is.
Yeah. My very first one was Linkstrom, which I just I like making different things, like different words and bringing them together.
Yeah.
That was my oldest. There's been a few that me and my friends kind of made as like very trolley names.
Yeah.
So there was one called Bum Wizard. One of my friends had Anal Mage. There was a couple of others as well. I can't remember what they are. There was one to do with a warlock. I think it was Cock Warlock. There's something like that.
Seeing a theme here.
Yeah, there is a theme. Are you still in contact with the anal wizard by any chance?
Yes, I am. He's one of my oldest friends. He is my oldest friend.
Nice.
I've known him since I was 10 years old. Every Saturday I do go see him as like a way to get out and just, because obviously I spend 5 days a week, pretty much 6 days a week, because Sunday I don't really go out either.
Yeah.
But obviously I spend 5 days a week just streaming and, doing streamer stuff. But Saturdays I do go out and see my oldest friend.
I genuinely thought you was going to see I go and see the anal wizard. But
The anal mage. How dare
anal
you?
mage, sorry. The bum wizard then.
See, bum wizard was my one.
Oh, anal mage and bum wizard strike again. And then all you can think of is, the old Batman where he goes. You just have a bum with the wizard hat on. Just spinning in and out.
Oh my god.
But no, that was one of them. I think they were the most notable ones I remember.
I wonder why.
Is it really bad? You said a bum with a wizard hat, but all the image that came into my head was a bum holding a wand between the cheeks.
Why have I just got Hagrid in my head now, just holding?
I wasn't supposed to tell you that.
I was supposed to tell you that. Oh.
But yeah, Bum Wizard and Anal Mage were the most notable ones I remember. They
I'm
were
probably
very
gonna refer
troll
to you.
accounts. What?
You are the bum wizard from now on, right?
No.
You're no longer Apocalynx. You have to be called bum wizard at all
No,
times.
no. That's a part of my life I left behind long ago when we used to troll people in Modern Warfare 2 or 3 with lobbies.
I'll say this now, so you'll remember it in the future. But give it a couple of weeks when you've forgotten about this conversation. I am going to load into one of your lobbies named the Bum Wizard.
Do it.
And watch you die.
I want to see Bum Wizard, Anal Mage, Cock Warlock, everything.
Oh, the cocklock will come for you. It will impregnate the Gussie.
Oh, fucking hell.
Oh my god. We do need a nostalgia lobby then. The next time you stream, the cocklock, the bum wizard, and the anal mage will join you.
Oh no.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, that's a good old look into the past of my previous accounts.
That's honestly fantastic. I wish I had anything remotely as funny. Mine was literally just like the typical I Kevlar I kind of thing, or like Mr. Kevlar, because I just
Mr.
thought it looked
Kevlar.
cool. Yes, that was before my name change actually. But then
I do love going back through your old YouTube videos.
Dude, the only reason why I've kept them up is because they get views. They get thousands of views. It's insane. But I started because I was so like conscious and I was an introvert. I still kind of am an introvert, but I think because of the way that I am on stream, people don't really think of me as that. They think that I'm like really extroverted, and that's because I'm comfortable doing what I'm doing. And it's kind of like the same. But if I met you guys, it's like when I met you and Sarah, when we met up, I was like super awkward, but I was trying to make jokes to try and make me feel more comfortable. Because that's what I do. If I'm feeling uncomfortable, if I'm in an uncomfortable situation, I try and make other people laugh to sort of like not feel as tense, and then I feel less tense from that. I can't handle those situations very well. So, and I think because I've talked to you a lot, I'm more comfortable with you. I've talked with Aaron, I'm more comfortable with him, obviously. It's always like that kind of awkwardness to start with, but that's just me. It's funny how you can appear very extroverted like on stream, but then behind the camera you're actually one of the biggest introverts going. It's mad. See, it's like omnivore, I think it's called, right? Where you're both.
Yeah.
Something like that. Unless I'm thinking of food. Like an omnivore.
Omnivore is yeah.
I just really I'm gonna have to Google that now. Omnivores. There you go. Yeah, it is actually a thing. So omnivores can be both quiet, reserved, and fearless and outgoing. It means that personality type is entirely situational. They can be an introvert at times and an extrovert at others. So that pretty much describes me. Like how I
am an omnivore because like I'm not like with streaming and in terms of being in my own space. Like there is I'm not saying like the personality you see on stream is not me. It's not genuine. It is.
Yeah, I get that.
But when I tend to be off stream, like even when like I'm sat in Discord with people or just on my own, I'm a very different person. Like I'm a lot more quiet in
Yeah, a lot more
terms of
reserved.
yeah.
I
The thing is,
totally get that.
no one can be 100 mile an hour like that constantly. You can't.
Well, it's all to do with like my autism and stuff as well. Like
Mm.
it's a very I don't know how to explain it without going in like deep into terms with like autism and the effects and different stuff like that. Like
You can if you want. It's entirely up to you.
oh god, no, we'd need another episode of the podcast to do that.
Bum Wizard Part 2, Electric Boogaloo.
But no, it's like I'm most people when like they come to know me, like a lot of people they only know what they see on stream because obviously like it's there's very few people that know me outside of that who come and talk to me and stuff like yeah, you and Ryan do
Yeah.
because you guys have come in, we've chilled in Discord together, you know. I'm a lot more I'd say maybe you've noticed, maybe you haven't. I tend to be a lot more quiet and like obviously as you said reserved.
Yeah.
Just because, you know, I'm my mind's not going 100 mile per hour with playing a game, reading chat, reading every single message that I try to read every single message that comes through to me.
Yeah. Same. I know exactly where you're coming from because I'm the same.
Mm.
Like I try to like read chat and everything. I try to keep an eye on the game. And if I don't read chat properly, I get roasted by it anyway. So that makes me go back. And it's like you said, your head is going 100 miles an hour. And people think when you turn the camera off and stop streaming, that's it, you done. But you're not. If you're not editing clips and stuff like that, you're not spending time with people in your community, your head, even if you just sat there doing nothing, just chilling, your head is still going. You come off and it's like you've gone to a concert or something. And when you come off, you're still hyped. You can't switch off. Like it takes a while for you to unwind. And like you said, it's not so much the fact that you're a different person off stream. It's just when you're on stream, you've got multiple things to look at, like chat, the game, etc. But you want to be entertaining, but you don't want to be fake.
Yeah.
Like there's too many people trying to be the next PewDiePie, the next Ninja, this, that, and the other, whatever. But if you're just like when they're putting that act on, you can tell that it's an act. With you, it's more like you're on stream, you're hyped, like you're pumped for stream and stuff like that. So it is genuinely you. But when you're off stream, you haven't got that added pressure of being in front of a camera. You have to perform a certain way or whatever, or you know what I mean. So like in voice chat outside the stream, you can relax. You can not so much be more of yourself because I know from experience that it's not like a persona or like a fake act that you're putting on stream, but you can relax more and you don't have to talk all the time. You don't have to be constantly speaking. You don't have to be looking at chat. So I totally get where you're coming from with that one.
It's like I can attribute it to another fact, like obviously with my autism and that, like it's not necessarily a what am I trying to say?
So do you think your autism affects your ability to stream then, or like does it give you some quirks that you can include that within your stream?
Oh,
or does it help in any way?
It helps, but also like with how my personality is, like I try not to go 100 mile per hour all the time because it is exhausting for me personally. Yeah. But by the time like I've started stream, done the stream, ended the stream, it's a lot of pressure on me because I use a lot of energy to put that kind of to bring that personality out in a sense because
it's tiring, it's exhausting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Until you actually stream, even if you do a chilled stream, you don't realize how exhausting it is just playing a game and trying to keep up with people chatting.
Yeah,
even in a chilled stream, that's it's extremely tiring. So
it is.
Add on the fact that like it does for me it does use a lot of energy to bring because while it is my personality and it is genuine and it is me, like I'm not used to bringing that personality out all the time, day after day after day.
Yeah.
Which obviously I'm a full-time streamer, like 5 days a week. I'm bringing that personality out 5 hours a day for 5 days a week, which I'm not used to. Like,
Yeah, something new for you.
Yeah, it's exhausting enough to do it just for 5 hours, just for one day. But then ramping it up for the entire week, like you said, a full-time streamer, it is severely draining on you. And like I should listen to this advice, but I probably won't. But if you feel like you're exhausted and you feel like you need a reset day or something, you should take it.
See, that's what I use weekends for.
Sometimes it's not enough though, is it?
Sometimes, yes. It just depends. Like with my, like, I'm very prone to not sleeping a lot.
Yeah.
'Cause even this morning I didn't go to bed till like 6-7 a.m. just because the time I have when like I'm not streaming is my time. I like to just, watch YouTube or watch anything on Netflix and Amazon Prime and all that jazz.
Yeah.
In general, like not my true personality, but the main part of my personality is just I like to be alone. I like to just not speak, just watch things, think about things, have time to myself.
Yeah.
And just,
enjoying your own company.
Yeah.
So that's some things that I like to do as well. But then there's sometimes, it sounds weird, right? But there's times where I've played games with people and be like, yo, do you want to play a game? I don't feel up to talking and stuff, but just want to play. And we just join the voice chat. We don't say anything at all. And it sounds weird, but even just having that presence of somebody there as well, that like a close friend, while you're really relaxing, it does still feel like quite calm and quite relaxing just to have that person there, just even on voice if you need to.
Yeah. Like like I thought about this, and I've thought about this constantly over the time I've been streaming. Like playing games just normally is a completely different experience to playing games on stream.
100%.
Like if I'm off stream, I can play a game. Like when Destiny 2 came out, I did 3 days of no sleep just playing that game because I was just happy. And if I was to do that on stream, God no, I would die.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't do it. I know my limits, but I know I couldn't do what I did playing. Like this is before I even streamed, so like just playing D2 how I normally did, and on the release of that, I know I couldn't do it on like stream.
It's night and day difference. It is weird. It's like when people just say, "Oh, I could stream. I'm playing the game anyway. I can just stream." It's not as easy as that. Because it's like I've always thought, like I don't want to be one of these streamers that are like constant tryhards or constantly needing to be the best, this, that, and the other. Because if you do build up an audience, oh, this guy is the best at this game or whatever, or the games they play, it gives you that sort of persona or aura about you that you need to be the best. And as soon as you start messing up or not being the best anymore, everyone's gone. So it's better to enjoy the game, play it for what it is, and that's a game. But then if you need to, like for example in Dead by Daylight, if somebody's like camping and tunneling and whatever, if you need to just switch it on and just like start straight up juicing people because you need to for a specific situation, you can still do that. Yeah. But it's not expected of you. So when you do it less often, people are more hyped about it. People are more sort of like, oh my God, that was sick kind of thing.
It's like because I think it was my last subathon I did, which was just before Christmas.
Yeah.
I remember. No, it was birthday, I think. Was it? I can't remember. I think it was birthday, actually. I did like a birthday subathon thing.
Yeah.
And the hardest thing I've ever had to do, only because I just didn't want to play anything else, in a sense, I was the time I played Dead by Daylight for 24 hours straight.
That's coming from somebody that's almost done that. I feel sorry for you.
it was a lot of pain.
Yeah, it can get quite tough. Like, I did my first subathon and it was for 24 hours. and I played Dead by Daylight for the most of it. And then I went to Call of Duty. I started playing competitive Call of Duty on the tail end of my.
Oh, that's never good.
That was one of the funniest things I've ever woken up to in my life. I fell asleep with you playing Dead by Daylight and woke up to you covered in green paint. Playing Call of Duty with no eyebrows.
With no eyebrows, a wig on, and a woman's dress.
Yeah.
Like, I looked like Fiona, like, had suddenly grown a beard or something. It was bloody awful. But honestly, playing Dead by Daylight for most of my stream, and then I switched to competitive Call of Duty, and I was very comfortable in competitive Call of Duty. Like, but the shift in concentration between two games, if I didn't switch to Call of Duty, I wouldn't have been able to do the 24 hours, because it's like a sort of mentally draining sort of concentration that you need for Dead by Daylight, in my opinion, for playing it for long periods of time, because it's the same thing over and over again, right? So like you either get crappy teammates, crappy killers, or like a really good killer. Or really
That's
crappy
the same
teammates
for Call of Duty, though. Really, you either get crappy teammates, or the other team is just unbearably good, or crap.
That is also true, but at the same time, with Call of Duty, I don't feel it's as mentally draining as Dead by Daylight, because Dead by Daylight is an easy game. Like, yeah, you can say Call of Duty is, because it's like point and shoot, but there is an element of skill in Call of Duty. There isn't so much in Dead by Daylight. So when I concentrate in Call of Duty and I get the ace, or like the last kill, the clutch kill, whatever, you get hyped from it. There's not particularly a hyped moment on Dead by Daylight, because it's a horror game. You're sort of like thinking and looking over your shoulder, that kind of stuff. It's more mentally draining on you than it is exciting, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So playing that for long periods of times got me tired. But playing Call of Duty competitively, I did fairly well, until I was like maybe 2 or 3 hours away from completing it. But then I switched back to Dead by Daylight, just to switch it up again. But it was difficult. Like, I couldn't imagine playing Dead by Daylight for 24 hours, and I take my hat off to you for doing so.
It wasn't that bad. Like, it was at moments. Like, we still had amazing moments. I think the drag for me, whenever I do something like a 24-hour, is obviously I've got my schedule and I know my community now, to the point I know what the best hours are, which led to the creation of my actual schedule.
Yeah.
It's when I go out of the schedule that it hits me harder than anything, because I know a lot of my community is either going to bed or going to work, or so I lose that kind of aspect of streaming that keeps me sane, where people are just talking to me and, interacting with me. It's usually when it hits about 11, 12 o'clock, where it suddenly starts to really hit me.
Yeah.
And it's very hard to go through all those hours, like late in the morning or early in the morning, with pretty much nobody there.
Yeah, that is the worst. I was lucky enough to have someone with me for most of it. It was one of my mods. It was Max, and every so often, every like half an hour to an hour or something, someone would wake up in the middle of the night and say, "Oh my god, you're still going!"
Oh yeah, you always expect those messages.
Yeah, and it's like, even though it's one message and they woke up, looked at their phone or something because they were lurking or something, and then they just send that message, and the fact that you've responded to them, they've probably fallen back to sleep. It's like, oh, I wish I was you right now. But yeah, no, I totally get you. Those random messages through the night, that's another thing that kept me going, because it gives that little extra motivation, doesn't it?
Yeah. Like it's not so bad for me these days, because like I would say a big portion of my community are UK based, but I do have quite a big portion of US based community. So it doesn't get too bad. Like, it's usually, I would say, 5, 6 a.m. is when it truly starts to die, but then I only have to wait like an hour or so, or 2 hours, and then my UK community are starting to come back in.
Yeah, that's the switch up, isn't it? Because it's like 8 hours difference roughly between the two time zones. So that's understandable. As the Americans are going to bed, the UK is just maybe slowly starting to wake up.
Yeah,
rising.
so it's like I do have a subathon planned for this year, that I've been pretty much working on for better part of 6-7 months.
Jeez.
Just because, like, when I look at subathons and I look at everyone else's subathons, like this is no like sly, like bitchy attack on other like streamers who do subathons, but
Yeah,
when I look at other subathons, I like you're not really putting a lot of effort into them. Like, I saw one for 100 subs where it was smash an egg on your head. I was like, well, that's not worth 100 subs, really, is it?
Yeah. No, I totally get where you come from. That's where, with my subathon, it was like a certain, I think it was, was it 100 or?
A few different ones. I know
Yeah,
250 was waxing your eyebrows, and we reached it in like the first hour and a half.
I don't even think it was that, to be honest. I was still going through all the other redemptions at that amount of time. Yeah. But then because people were going to bed, I was still going through them. And as people were going to bed, I was like, you know what? I think it'd be best. People want to see my eyebrows being waxed off. So that's probably the best one to get out of the way before people go to bed and miss it, kind of thing. But I'm like you. I only want to do subathons for things that mean something. So I've got one planned for when I hit 2K. I was thinking about doing one for my birthday. I didn't last year. Because the year before I had like a birthday stream, and there was drinking involved, and half a bottle of whiskey got drank, and I was twerking, spinning around on my chair. so I've not drank since then. I've not drank for like 2 years or so. But I want the sub goals to be worth it.
Yeah.
So, like, there was one of them where I dress up as Queen Crazy. So I get my wig, I get my makeup on, I get a dress on, all that kind of stuff. And I dress up as Queen Crazy. And then the next thing was, like, I get face painted green. So my daughter came in, did my face paint green. She did my eye makeup and everything, all that kind of stuff. So I want the higher you go up, the more I want it to be worth it. So there was things in between, like I play on controller for like 10 games, or I play with no perks or something like that. If it's Dead by Daylight, I do some weird forfeits. Like those are like mini sort of goals in between, just to sort of fill the gaps between the big milestones. And to me, that's what a subathon's about. Like I saw someone, like again, like you, this isn't bashing someone, but like the majority of the things are like mediocre at best, but the one that really took the cake for me was 1,000 subs. You get a cream pie to the head or cream pie to the face. To me, I don't think that's worth 1,000 subs.
No, God no.
Like so, like how much would that be? If was it like $3,000 or something, $4,000? It's a lot of money, right?
But it depends on where because of Twitch, it depends on where the subs come from and everything.
Yeah, I suppose. But this, it's just like
it would roughly work out about $2,500, give or take.
It's people.
Yeah, $2,500.
It's people that do things like that makes me feel guilty for doing when I do it. If that makes sense.
Yeah. It's like you already. I've already got a goal in mind for 1,000, which is obviously what we've discussed before. It is the Gussie tattoo, which is it will be one of the goals. Whether it gets reached, probably not, but I hope it doesn't. But
you better hope I don't win the lottery, because I'm 100%. I'll do it solo.
Yo, if I win the lottery, I'll donate 2,000. But I'll donate the money rather than the subs, so you can get the Gussie tattooed on your downstairs. So it's like the snake monsters coming out with the Gussie.
Oh God!
What was that? What's that tattoo? Not Prince Albert. That's a piercing. The dinosaur one. Oh my God! What's it called? Puff the
What
Magic
do you
Dragon. You've not seen that tattoo?
I have.
You have? Yeah. So instead of Puff the Magic Dragon, it's Puff the Magic Gussie.
Fuck's sake.
Yeah,
To be fair, I think about it now. I'm glad you guys weren't around for one of my subathons, which was the hot tub stream.
Oh.
You guys don't know about that?
No, we don't. But I said it.
Oh,
because
wow.
I randomly streamed on Christmas Day in my hot tub.
I remember that.
So I dressed up as an uwu girl.
Oh,
actually,
did
you've seen the cards, haven't you? I did make a thingy card based on it.
I seen.
I haven't.
I think I seen a card, but I wasn't sure of the context of it. I don't think.
So you know my uwu emote where it looks like Ariel.
Yeah,
that is based on it.
Yeah, I've seen one or two clips of you like getting dressed as the Ariel.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Yeah,
I did not know what that was around. You know what? Do we have a clip that we can possibly put in the video portion of this?
The most popular clip, probably. I can find it for you. Yeah.
Kev, I hate you.
Why?
Why have I just clicked on the Discord and seen that you put Bum Wizard next to his name?
I had to, just so I'd remember. Because if I ever forget the name, I can just go in the Discord audit history, see that he changed his name back to King Links, and then I can see what it changed from. I might have one brain cell, but it works sometimes. Okay.
But no, I would definitely find. I'm looking for it now.
That would be fantastic.
The most popular one. The most popular clip, genuinely, was just me changing my from my starting soon screen to the where everyone actually saw what I was dressed as. Yeah, because I wore Georgie's bikini and everything. It was fun. Yeah, I've got it. I'm sending it to you now.
Fantastic.
I love it.
Kind of reminds me of when I first dressed up as Queen Crazy. Like I was like, "Oh, hello, peasants! Welcome to the stream." Just doing a royal wave and everything.
I absolutely love that clip.
Oh, it was in the clips of the month for a few times.
Yeah, because I love that clip.
Oh my god. No, dude, I had the speed on 0.25 because the last time I was on this computer, I was watching a clip of, it was a debate between me or Badly Textured Grass who made the generator blow, and I was watching the clip at 0.25 speed, and I just saw that clip at 0.25 speed, and it is fucking glorious. If you click on the cog and change the speed to 0.25, you need to watch it. It's just fantastic. It's even better than watching it full speed. The way you just like, oh, take me, Jack. Hold me. Oh my god. Honestly fantastic.
That being said, one of the things we do like to do, as you know, is having the streamer of the week. So usually me or Kev pick one. But since you're our honored guest this week, is there any streamers you'd like to put forward?
Probably Kitsukami.
Lovely. Do you want to tell us a little bit about him?
Well, he's a Dead by Daylight streamer, and he's pretty much me.
Does he have a trim?
Yes, and it's very, very. It's like a shorter version of mine.
Oh, so he's like the semi-you.
In a sense, yeah.
It's not. No, he's not quite fully erect.
He needs a few more blue pills in his gel.
Yeah, but no, he is an absolutely lovely guy. Part of the trans community. No, he's quickly become one of my very best friends that I've met through streaming. So no, I definitely want it to be him.
Definitely.
That's a very good choice.
We'll include the link for his stream in the description below as well. So yeah,
I've raided I've rated him a few times. Honestly, one of the loveliest people I've met on Twitch, hands down. Always very welcoming, very sort of engaging with his community. Honestly, it's really, really good choice. Because I wasn't sure whether or not I went to a raid and followed from one of your streams or one of Ash's streams, because you've both got like kitsus or kitties or something like that in your community. So I was just a little bit confused. But yeah, I very much like your choice. It was very well done. So going back to your Dead by Daylight days, because I'm just looking on Kitsu's stream at the moment. You said you mained Demogorgon and Steve, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think about the current Stranger Things seasons, and what do you predict may or may not happen in the future, or what do you want to happen as well?
Oh, this is a rabbit hole.
Yes.
I love season 4. I love it.
Yeah,
Demogorgon
100%.
was very good in it when he had his little cameo, so that was very exciting for me.
It was cute. It was cute more than anything.
He definitely had Save Best for Last in that.
Yeah, 100%.
Unrelenting as well.
Yeah.
No cooldown on attacks.
But overall, the season was really good. I've heard some rumors, some bad rumors that someone's gonna die.
Oh yeah, I've heard, and I think that's more of a want than anything.
Why would anyone want Steve to die?
Because I don't know, because of the whole thing with Nancy. Because I've got my own theories, but I would like to hear yours.
I can't see him killing off Steve. I can't. He's too popular.
I think he's too popular. If they killed off Steve, they would do a similar thing like they done with Hopper, and he would appear to be dead, but he would come back.
But would they regurgitate that same idea though? That's the thing.
I
Depends
don't
on
think
the concept
so.
of it.
Because even I've been of the mind that if they kill off Steve, then it won't make me want to watch anymore. Because I love Steve, I love his character, I love the character development and the story and his journey throughout the series.
Character is fantastic.
Yeah. So if they did kill him off, that would upset me a lot, because he is my favorite character.
Yeah,
I think they're gonna kill off one of the main characters.
A lot of people have rumored it's going to be Will.
I can see Will.
He's come close, though. Let's be fair. He's come close quite a few times within the seasons.
For me, the one that's the obvious choice for it would be Jonathan.
Yeah, 100%.
I don't feel like he offers too much to the story, but not just that. Like the effects that it would have on the other cast for it would also be a lot bigger than what he could actually do for the story being alive.
Yeah. Like, I do feel like they've killed his character in this season.
They have. He's got the personality of a wet flannel, in my opinion.
The best thing about Jonathan, he made a very, very funny friend.
Yeah, that's the only highlight to Jonathan being in this season, in my opinion.
But like his friend's reaction, as well as Will's reaction and Joyce's reaction and Nancy's reaction to him dying, would be far greater than anything that he could actually do on screen now.
Yeah.
Like, if you haven't tuned out already because you don't want to hear potential spoilers or something, essentially, I think if anything's going to happen, Jonathan's going to be like, hey, I'm moving away to go to this, so we're not going to be able to see each other kind of thing, and then he dies. He drops that bombshell, and then he dies. That could be a thing. So she's already upset or mad that he didn't tell her. But then he dies, so she kind of like feels sorry for him, if that makes sense.
I want to see Nancy feel guilty that she wants to pounce on Steve's rugged chest after Jonathan's just died.
Shirtless Steve in Dead by When?
Yes.
You're just jealous because Steve has better chest hair than you do.
Steve's got better chest hair than most people, let's be honest.
Well, with Steve, what happened in the Upside Down, like he got chewed on by those bats and stuff, right? So I think they're going to make it seem like he's dying or he's going to be killed off, but then he pulls through. Because you've seen them bandaging him up and stuff, right?
Who else is going to look after the kids?
Exactly. So plus, Nancy's going to look after him. They're going to be like get closer and whatnot.
We still need more of the whole bro-ship kind of story between him and Dustin as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Dustin's my favorite character by far. Like Dustin's awesome. He's so funny.
Out of the main
Like-
cast, yeah. Personally, I love Susie.
Susie Poo.
Yeah,
Oh,
Like-
she is kind of cool.
it's just the fact that like she's like this little nerdy gamer girl, but is also quite fucking boss at the same time.
And she's very, very ooh for
Yeah.
Dustin.
But it was like the fact that they were like teasing him like as if she didn't exist like a couple of seasons ago, and now they're full on relying on her completely
Yeah.
a lot of the time.
It's fantastic.
Well, it's great now because we've only got, 5 days left till the last of season 4 drops.
I can't wait.
So one of the theories that I seen going around, which is really really interesting, is the rumor of Vecna being around from the very start. So it was saying that Vecna was actually the one that took Will to the Upside Down.
I could see that, yeah.
So
They kind of revealed it though, didn't they?
Well, the videos that I seen, they play back the time when Will first disappears, and like you don't see the Demogorgon, you don't, but there is clock chimes in the background,
Okay.
which is obviously a signal of Vecna at the moment from the new season.
Yeah, like a
And-
callback kind of thing.
Yeah, and I think it's when he's in the house and the Demogorgon comes to the house, the latch moves off the lock via like telekinesis, which is something that Demo never actually uses prior to or after it either.
Yeah, he never showcased that skill.
So it was as if like the theory behind it is the Vecna's been pulling the strings the whole time, and he actually done that to let the Demogorgon in.
So the way that they went on about it, they said that the Demogorgon, I think, are Vecna's foot soldiers, right? I think that's what they said roughly in the season. But the way that, if you think about it, Vecna can see inside your head, right? See your worst fears and all this, that, and the other, your memories and stuff. When my theory is, you know, when Vecna took Max in the Upside Down and was like just about to kill her, she's seen all the memories of 11, right? That's all Vecna wants. So the fact that she got away, maybe it was coincidence that she just managed to pull out one of his tendrils or something from his neck, because he wouldn't have wanted her to be injured, obviously. So he probably would have killed her. But the fact that she got away, he could have easily killed her or grabbed her up from the vines, the tendrils from the floor or something. But I think because he saw L or 11 in her memories and dream or whatever, I think the reason that she escaped wasn't by chance. I think he let her escape to try and use her to get close to 11, to draw 11 in. Yeah. Because they seen how close they were. Yeah. So that I think would be a more viable way of getting to 11, because maybe his way of interacting with all these people and killing them is either to keep himself alive to feed his power or something, or so he can try and eventually get to people that know or that are close enough to 11 to like bring her in and like have that final showdown kind of thing.
Yeah.
No, I can see it. I can definitely see that.
That was another thing from the Will thing, as well, is when he's in the Upside Down, I think he curls up on the floor, and one of the things he does is actually start singing his favorite song, which is one of the things that like helped save Max. Is they figured out the music can like bring the mind back, so they think that was part of the reason why he survived in the Upside Down, was because he protected himself by singing his song and kept his mind sane.
It's plausible, but if you've seen the effect that it had on Max, it actually sort of opened up that gateway to go back home. So if he was that mentally stable enough to sing his song and get like free or stay sane, surely would have made a way back home for him. That's the only flaw with that one.
I don't know, because like he was physically taken to the Upside Down, whereas Max was only mentally taken there.
Yeah, that's true. That's fair enough.
So it was more just like his, yeah, definitely. It was more just like his protection against Vecna was having that song in his head. It's interesting.
I just can't wait. What is it? 5 days, you said? I think
5 days, yeah. 1st of July.
I'm just excited, and I think when we watched, because where is it? The next episode is like an hour and a half, and the other one's a bit longer. I think
2 hours or something like that.
Yeah. So once we've watched this, the chances are, me, my wife, and my daughter are going to just binge watch from season 1 to season 4 again, because you'll see things happening that you didn't see or notice before as well. It's the same with films. Like you watch a film 2 or 3 times, you see more things.
Yeah, it'd be very interesting to watch them all back. I feel like this is the end of Stranger Things, but at the same time, I don't want it to be.
Yeah, they've still got one more season, right?
Yeah, season 5 got announced.
Yeah, I think that one is the last, though. Season 5 is possibly the last.
It's hard. It's a very delicate balance with TV series as to milking it for what it's worth and then taking it too far, and everyone just remember it being, oh my god, this series was amazing, but then they just didn't end it. But then when they do end it, people are like, oh well, you could have done more seasons, and it's never you can never make anyone happy, really, can you?
Yeah, I think it's run its course, but it's also it's a fantastic climactic ending to the season as well.
My thing with it is the Upside Down is such an interesting place and concept, and the things that live in it, like we've barely scratched the surface of it, really, if we wanted to. So like, it would be good to see them end the seasons of Stranger Things with this cast in this time, maybe, and if they were to go down the road in the future of bringing something back that's set in the same universe, following a different story of people dealing with the Upside Down, I'd be interested in that.
The origins would be awesome. Like, was it created when Elle put Vecna through that portal? Was that its creation?
Yeah.
Has it already been there for however many years?
So it was there. It was there before Elle. It had to be.
Yeah.
How come?
Because it was there when when Vecna was a little boy, because he was tapping into it back then.
Yeah.
Oh, that's when he was tapping. I must have missed that part then.
Yeah.
There was an episode that I fell asleep on because I was exhausted, so it must have been that
one.
Do you know who Vecna is? Or have you missed that completely?
No, I know who Vecna is, yeah.
One thing though, I do hope that they Netflix actually see sense and let Dead by Daylight bring Vecna into the Dead by Daylight universe.
The thing was,
it would be very cool.
They lost the license, and that was a lot down to Netflix apparently having their own gaming thing, and it doesn't seem like anything's come of that. So I think with the popularity behind it, it would make massive business sense for them to go, okay, let's sit down at the table. We'll give you the Stranger Things license back, but we want you to do a second chapter, which I think might be part of the reason why they're doing Resident Evil Part 2 as well, to see whether a chapter 2 would work.
With Stranger Things, I definitely think a chapter 2 would work, especially with Resident Evil as well. Like, it was obviously going to work.
Yeah.
There's so much from the Resident Evil universe they can tap into.
That was the thing with Stranger Things being a chapter 2, was who would they use? But the fact that they've brought in this essentially new villain, all right, technically he's been there the whole time, but this new villain with new powers and a new dynamic would allow them to have a chapter 2 with a completely different killer. Other than that, you only really had the Demogorgon and the Mind Flayer, and creating the Mind Flayer into a Dead by Daylight killer, I can imagine, would be a nightmare.
Yeah.
The Mind Flayer is practically the entity anyway.
Yeah.
That's how I see him. But I think maybe if they brought new survivors, maybe Hopper, Ivan, or whatever.
As long as Scoops Ahoy Robin's there, I'm happy.
Honestly, Robin would be fantastic. Scoops Robin would, like, a legendary skin for Nancy mixed on top with another survivor or two would be awesome. Vecna as a killer, the Mori and everything would be similar to Pinhead, I'd imagine, where they come up and instead of what does Pinhead do? Like, he puts them into the ground or something.
Yeah.
It would kind of be the same thing where Vecna gets them up with his vines and stuff, puts them on that sort of pedestal thing, and then just like kills them and breaks their arms, kind of like the Oreo.
Yeah.
That would be kind of cool. It'd be
the Oreo.
Yeah.
The Onryo.
It's Oreos. But yeah, so as far as the power goes, I'd say it'd be similar to Nemesis, But you can cast similar to Nemesis and Nurse, where you can sort of hold M2 and Pinhead, I'd imagine. You hold M2 and it gives like this little aura thing on the ground, and it goes further the more you hold it and the more you look up, like the Nurse blink. But then when you let it go, sort of like tendrils come out of the ground and start pulling on the survivor, causing them to slow, kind of like a Freddy snare, if that makes sense. Something along those lines. I think that would be kind of cool as far as the power goes. Like if you made Vecna into a killer, because he doesn't, apart from telekinesis, that's the, if you went telekinesis, you may as well get Darth Vader using the Force in Dead by Daylight, you know. As cool as that would be, as cool as that would be, I think the tendrils coming out of the ground causing you to like need to break away from them as you're running, and it slows you kind of thing. I think it'd be a pretty cool concept, because I don't know what other thing, because like you said, the Demogorgon had a cameo. It wasn't, you can't exactly put Demogorgon Part 2 in there. So the only other thing that you could put in there is Vecna.
They just need to bring it back. Vecna is a killer, a shirtless Steve skin, and a Scoops Ahoy Robin legendary skin, and then Hopper and one other person as a survivor, which could either be Joyce, if they wanted to do male and female, which they tend to do with dual characters, or a lot of people love Eddie.
Eddie's cool. I do like Eddie. Could you, like, how old are I know they're kids or they're adults in real life, but how do you think they would put Dustin or Elle into the game?
They couldn't,
they
wouldn't.
They're still too young. I think their age range is about 15, isn't it?
They're still in high school, aren't they? So with Americans, I know they're still in high school up till 18, I believe.
Yeah.
But
it's a hard
I
one.
can't recall how old they are in the game.
The one thing that I find crazy about it is like they say about them being too young, but apparently the Laurie Strode is technically 17.
Yeah.
So
it depends
on how they do it. They could toe the line with it, but like Laurie Strode doesn't look like a 17-year-old, whereas the Stranger Things gang, they look like kids.
Yeah. And Victor, just saying. But there was the hippie dude, I can't remember his name. Like, he'd be a fantastic character. The stoner pizza guy, Jonathan's friend. Like, he'd be funny as hell. If they had voice lines of him in the game, like if he gets hit and he just, whoa, dude! Just, it'd be funny.
Whoa.
Like when he goes absolutely berserk, was it on when they're playing golf or something? I think he goes berserk. Like he goes like really hyper and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, it's great.
I could just imagine it. But yeah, it'd be really, I'm excited for it. I'm also excited for season 5 as well, because essentially having a season 5 means that either Vecna doesn't get defeated in the end, or there's going to be a whole new thing to deal with.
Something big, because the mind flare, that they haven't addressed that yet. So maybe that's like the big end boss. Maybe Vecna turns good.
They could go Dragon Ball Z style and Vecna fuses with the Mind Flayer and just becomes Mind Vecna.
Oh, this crazy bloody concepts.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's pretty much it, right?
We've been going for 2.5 hours. So
this is the longest podcast we've done by far. By at least about an hour, I think.
Yeah. We're usually around the 148, 150 mark.
Because that's how Ryan's concentration span goes to.
Pretty much. Yeah.
But
this is the introduction of Bum Wizard.
Yeah, introduction of Bum Wizard, best trim on Twitch.
Title of the episode right there.
You got the best ass hair on Twitch. So, but no, it's been a fantastic conversation. I've enjoyed every second of it. So thank you for being our first guest, and it's honestly been a pleasure.
You're very welcome. It's been a pleasure for me as well. It's been nice to look back on different stuff, and it's been overly nice.
Relive the days of the Bum Wizard.
Yeah. And I'm probably never going to outlive them now.
No,
an
definitely
anal
not.
mage. So, quick question before we do finish: is Anal Mage in your stream by any chance?
He is from time to time. Yes.
Okay, awesome. Because it would be nice to have a game with you, and he was like, "Why is that person's name Anal Mage?" It was like,
Hmm.
No, he is from time to time. Whenever I'm streaming, he's usually working, so he only has like flashes in and out every now and then.
Is he in the Discord though?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Anal Mage memes coming soon. But nice. Honestly, I've enjoyed this one loads.
Yeah,
like we went off on tangents.
Pleasure.
We've got to know you a bit better as well, and like obviously past, present, and what you feel you're going to be doing in the future with streaming and stuff, which is awesome. Can't wait to see the subathon. But yeah, thank you so much for coming on, dude.
You're very welcome. It's been my pleasure.
And thank you all for listening. So if you could all leave the usuals, the likes, subscribes, preferably 5-star reviews, but
boost us.
We take them all as they come. So just like the bum wizard. Yeah, thank you very much, and we'll see you guys next time.